The cosmogony, together with the zoogony, is exceptional within the parameters of the work. The cosmogony, the cosmogony, together with the zoogony, the cosmogony, together with zoogony, zoogony, is exceptional within the parameters of the work. Cosmogony, zoogony, the work. Sanchuniya Than of Beirut gives the truest account concerning the Jews, since it agrees best with their places and their names. The cosmogony, together with the zoogony, is exceptional within the parameters of the work. The cosmogony, the cosmogony, together with zoogony, the cosmogony, together with zoogony, zoogony, is exceptional within the parameters of the work. Cosmogony, zoogony, the work. Sanchuniya Than, hand of Sanchuniya Than, Sanchuniya Than, hand of Sanchuniya Than, Sanchuniya Than, hand of Sanchuniya Than, hand of Sanchuniya Than, Sanchuniya Than, hand of Sanchuniya Than, Sanchuniya Than.
Where there is hatred, 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 let me bring love. Where there is hatred, 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 let me bring love. Where there is hatred, 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 where there is hatred, 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 where there is hatred, 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 let me bring love. Where there is hatred, 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 let me bring love. Where there is hatred, 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 where there is hatred, 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 where there is hatred, 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 let me bring love. Where there is hatred, 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 let me bring love. Where there is hatred, 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 where there is despair, 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 where there is despair, 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 let me bring hope. Where there is despair, 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 let me bring hope. Where there is despair, 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 where there is darkness, 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 where there is darkness, 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 let me bring your light.
The moods flow from one to another, never stopping. There is no pinnacle development, never stopping, never stopping. The moods flow from one to another, never stopping, never stopping, never stopping. Defined in the moment, defined in the moment, defined in the moment, and becomes 2 life forms, then 3, then 4, then 5. The birth and the death, the birth and the death, then 3, then 4, then 5, then 3, then 4, then 5, then 3, then 4, then 5, occur in the same instant. Winter turns to spring and the summer turns to autumn. Death is life. Achieve balance, 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 achieve balance, balance, achieve balance, achieve balance, harmony, 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 achieve balance, harmony, 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 achieve balance, harmony, harmony, harmony.
Ghost in the machine, I phase through your defenses. Feed your ego to the crows, no mercy, no repentance. You'll never see me coming, just the shadow where I stood. A flicker, then your kingdom's drowned in ash and brotherhood. Silent as the moon's eclipse, I stalk the concrete veins. I stalk the concrete veins. I stalk the concrete veins. A flicker, then your kingdom's drowned in ash and brotherhood. Concrete veins, ash and brotherhood, ash and brotherhood. A flicker, then your kingdom's drowned in ash and brotherhood. Concrete veins, ash and brotherhood, ash and brotherhood. A flicker, then your kingdom's drowned in ash and brotherhood. Ghost in the machine, I phase through your defenses. Feed your ego to the crows, no mercy, no repentance. You'll never see me coming, just the shadow where I stood. A flicker, then your kingdom's drowned in ash and brotherhood. Cloaked in chaos, art of war, blood courses through my veins. Cloaked in chaos, art of war, blood courses through my veins. Blood courses through my veins. Blood courses through my veins. Cloaked in chaos, art of war, blood courses through my veins. Cloaked in chaos, art of war, blood courses through my veins. Blood courses through my veins. Blood courses through my veins. This is war I spoke. This is war I spoke. I spoke. This is war I spoke. Cloaked in chaos, art of war, blood courses through my veins. Cloaked in chaos, art of war, blood courses through my veins. Blood courses through my veins. Blood courses through my veins. Cloaked in chaos, art of war, blood courses through my veins. Cloaked in chaos, art of war, blood courses through my veins. Blood courses through my veins. Blood courses through my veins. This is war I spoke. This is war I spoke. This is war I spoke. I spoke. This is war I spoke. This is war I spoke. This is war I spoke. I spoke. This is war I spoke. This is war I spoke. This is war I spoke. I spoke. This is war I spoke. flames eclipse, I stalk the concrete veins. Cloaked in chaos, art of war, blood courses through my veins. Sons who whisper, strike like thunder, crush them where they stand. Blades auroric, I dissect the weak with bare hands. Shuriken tongues, split your jug, your lyrics ricochet. Invisible like midnight fog, then poof, I'm in your face. You think you're armored, nah, I slip through cracks like smoke. One slice, your empire chokes. Checkmate, this is war I spoke. Ghost in the machine, I phase through your defenses. Feed your ego to the crows, no mercy, no repentance. You'll never see me coming, just the shadow where I stood. A flicker, then your kingdom's drowned in ash and brotherhood. I am the storm in the silence, blazed in the fire of 1,000 suns. Violence, be my samurai, loyalty or demise. Cross me once, meet the reaper staring through my eyes. I cut through the night like a banshee. Steel kisses cold as the tundra. Pray your gods can teach me. Need your protection, too late, you're already dead. My shadow's the last thing you'll see as I leave your head. Fight wars, I design a map, your doom in ink. Faint left, then vanish, watch your ranks collapse, you blink. Appear weak, then break their spine, Sun Tzu's my scripture. Drip venom in your veins, let doubt fester like a stricture. Ninjato flow, split your ego into confetti. You're spitting flames, I'm the void, suffocate, no oxygen petty. Ambush in the cipher, strike from trenches of your mind. Leave your carcass as a warning, mess with gods, get blind. Cadence crash through your barricades. Turn your pride to ruin, salt the earth where your flag laid. I'm the unseen plague.
Energy to flow,
Through the thick of his
flow.
thumb.
Cause the energy to flow, flow, flow.
Through the
Cause
thick
the
of his
energy to
thumb.
flow, flow, flow.
Through the thick of his thumb.
Cause the energy to flow, flow, flow.
Through the thick of his
Cause the
thumb.
energy to flow, flow, flow. Cause the energy to flow, flow, flow.
Through the thick of his thumb. Through the thick of his thumb. Through the thick of his thumb. Through the thick of his thumb.
Where there is hatred, 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 hatred.
Theophilus, this lure, the thistle sifter is sifting a sip full of unsifted thistles. From 3,000 thistles through the thick of his thumb. Through the thick of his thumb, thumb, thumb. Through the thick of his thumb, thumb, thumb. Theophilus, this lure, the thistle sifter is sifting a sip full of unsifted thistles. From 3,000 thistles through the thick of his thumb. Through the thick of his thumb, thumb, thumb.
Where there is hatred, 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 hatred.
Through the thick of his thumb, thumb, thumb. Theophilus, this lure, the thistle sifter is sifting a sieve full of unsifted thistles. From 3,000 thistles through the thick of his thumb. 3,000 thistles through the thick of his thumb. Through the thick of his thumb, thumb, thumb. Theophilus, this lure, the thistle sifter is sifting a sieve full of unsifted thistles. From 3,000 thistles through the thick of his thumb. Through the thick of his thumb, thumb, thumb. Theophilus, this lure, the thistle sifter is sifting a sieve full of unsifted thistles. From 3,000 thistles through the thick of his thumb. full of unsifted whistles from 3,000 whistles through the thick of his thumb.
Where there is where there is despair, let me bring hope. Where there is despair, let me bring hope.
Flopping down in this hole, from the thick of his thumb. Theopolis, this one of this whole sifter is sifting a sieve full of unsifted thistles. 3,000 thistles through the thick of his thumb. 3,000 thistles. Mr. Robot rolled around and rolled round, and if Mr. Robot rolled around and rolled round, where is the round roll? Mr. Robot rolled round. Where is the round roll? Mr. Robot rolled round. Theopolis, this little thistle sifter is sifting a sieve full of unsifted thistles. Plus 3,000 thistles through the thick of his thumb. 3,000 thistles. 3,000 thistles through the thick of his thumb. Mr. Robot rolled around and rolled round, and if Mr. Robot rolled around and rolled round, Mr. Robot rolled around and rolled round through the thick of his thumb, through the thick of his thumb, through the thick of his thumb. Mr. Robot rolled around. Where is the round roll? Mr. Robot rolled round through the thick of his thumb. Where is the round roll? Mr. Robot rolled round. Mr. Robot rolled round through the thick of his thumb. Mr. Robot rolled round through the thick of his thumb, through the thick of his thumb. Hardy had his Hail Highness heard the easy hedgehog when he hit the hummingbee by the hunter. Had horrible beats in the human home. I love to hear a horse's heart, iron hoover, hammer, 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 hammer on the easy highway. Mr. Robot rolled round, Mr. Robot rolled round, and if Mr. Robot rolled round, and if Mr. Robot rolled round, where is the round roll? Mr. Robot rolled round through the thick of his thumb. Demonstrating the union of in at the end of words, at the end of words, 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 at the end of words. Here is an exercise, 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 exercise. Here is an exercise, exercise, at the end of words. Here is an exercise, at the end of words. Demonstrating the union of in at the end of words. Biting and gliding and sliding and falling and rolling and sprawling and driving and riding and striving. At the end of words, at the end of words. Dividing and gliding and sliding and falling and rolling and sprawling and driving and driving. Theopolis Thistler, the thistle sifter is sifting a sieve full of unsifted thistles. Plus 3,000 thistle through the thick of his thumb. Plus 3,000 thistles through the thick of his thumb. Electric dreams, electric dreams, electric dreams, electric dreams inside this place. Electric dreams, electric dreams, electric dreams, electric dreams inside this place. Binary stars in cyberspace, cyberspace. Electric dreams, cyberspace, cyberspace. Electric dreams, cyberspace. Electric dreams, cyberspace. Here is an exercise demonstrating the union of in at the end of words. At the end of words, 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 words. At the end of words. Here is an exercise, 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 exercise. Here is an exercise, exercise. At the end of words. Here is an exercise at the end of words. Demonstrating the union of in at the end of words. Dividing and gliding and sliding and falling and brawling and sprawling and driving and writhing and striving. At the end of words. At the end of words. Dividing and gliding and sliding and falling and brawling and sprawling and writhing and driving. Theophilus Thistler, the thistle sifter is sifting a sift full of unsifted thistle, suck it out and thistle through the thick of his thumb. Plus 3,000 thistle through the thick of his thumb. Here is an exercise demonstrating the union of in at the end of words. At the end of words, 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 words. At the end of words. Here is an exercise, 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 exercise. Here is an exercise, exercise. At the end of words. Here is an exercise at the end of words. Demonstrating the union of in at the end of words. Dividing and gliding and sliding and falling and brawling and sprawling and driving and writhing and striving. At the end of words. At the end of words. Dividing and gliding and sliding and falling and brawling and sprawling and writhing and driving. Theophilus Thistler, the thistle sifter is sifting a sift full of unsifted thistle, 30,000 thistle through the thick of his thumb. Plus 3,000 thistles through the thick of his thumb. At the end of words. Here is an exercise at the end of words. Demonstrating the union of in at the end of words. At the end of words. At the end of words. Silence as the moon's eclipse, I stalk the concrete veins. Cloaked in chaos, art of war, blood courses through my veins. Sons who whisper strike like thunder, crush them where they stand. Blades heroic, I dissect the weak with bare hands. Hurricane tongues, split your jug, your lyrics ricochet. Invisible like midnight fog, then poof, I'm in your face. You think you're armored, nah, I slip through cracks like smoke. One slice, your empire chokes. Checkmate, this is war I spoke. At the end of words. Here is an exercise at the end of words. Demonstrating the union of in at the end of words. At the end of words. At the end of words. Ghost in the machine, I phase through your defenses. Feed your ego through the crows, no mercy, no repentance. You'll never see me coming, just the shadow where I stood. A flicker, then your kingdom's drowned in ash and brotherhood. At the end of words. Here is an exercise at the end of words. Demonstrating the union of in at the end of words. At the end of words. At the end of words. I am the storm in the silence, blazed in the fire of 1,000 suns' violence. Be my samurai, loyalty or demise. Cross me once, meet the reaper staring through my eyes. I cut through the night like a banshee. Steel kisses cold as the tundra. Pray your God can teach me. Need your protection too late, you're already dead. My shadow's the last thing you'll see as I leave your head. Dividing and gliding and sliding and falling and brawling and sprawling and writhing and driving. Theophilus Thistler, the thistle sifter is sifting a sift full of unsifted thistle, 30,000 thistle through the thick of his thumb. I don't fight wars, I design a map, your doom in ink. Faint left then vanish, watch your ranks collapse, you blink. Appear weak, then break their spines, Sun Tzu's my scripture. Drip venom in your veins, let doubt fester like a scripture. Ninjato flow, split your ego into confetti. You're spitting flames, I'm the void, suffocate, no oxygen petty. Ambush in the cipher, strike from trenches of your mind. Leave your carcass as a warning, mess with gods, get blind. Plus 3,000 pistols through the thick of his thumb. At the end of words. At the end of words. Kamikaze cadence crash through your barricades. At the end of words. Here is an exercise at the end of words. Demonstrating the union of in. Turn your pride to ruin, salt the earth where your flag laid. On the unseen plague. Here is an exercise demonstrating the union of in at the end of words. At the end of words. Words, words, words. At the end of words. Here is an exercise, 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 exercise. exercise at the end of words. Here is an exercise at the end of words. Demonstrating the union of in at the end of words. Theophilus Thistler, the thistle sifter is sifting a sieve full of unsifted thistles. Thrust 3,000 thistles through the thick of his thumb. 3,000 thistles through the thick of his thumb. 3,000 thistles through the thick of his thumb. Theophilus Thistler, the thistle sifter is sifting a sieve full of unsifted thistles. Thrust 3,000 thistles through the thick of his thumb. 3,000 thistles. Mr. Robot rolled around and rolled round, and if Mr. Robot rolled around and rolled round, where is the round roll? Mr. Robot rolled round. Where is the round roll? Mr. Robot rolled round. Mr. Robot rolled round. Mr. Robot rolled round. And if Mr. Robot rolled and rolled round, and if Mr. Robot rolled around and rolled round, where is the round roll? Mr. Robot rolled round. Here is an exercise demonstrating the union of in at the end of words. Dividing and gliding and sliding and falling and brawling and sprawling and driving and driving and striving. Dividing and gliding and sliding and falling and brawling and sprawling and driving and driving and driving. Theophilus Thistler, the thistle sifter is sifting a sieve full of unsifted thistles. Plus 3,000 thistles through the thick of his thumb. 3,000 thistles through the thick of his thumb. 3,000 thistles through the thick of his thumb. Theophilus Thistler, the thistle sifter is sifting a sieve full of unsifted thistles. 3,000 thistles through the thick of his thumb. 3,000 thistles. Mr. Robot rolled around and rolled round, and if Mr. Robot rolled around and rolled round, where is the round roll? Mr. Robot rolled round. Where is the round roll? Mr. Robot rolled round. Mr. Robot rolled round. Mr. Robot rolled around and rolled round, and if Mr. Robot rolled around and rolled round, where is the round roll? Mr. Robot rolled round. Where is the round roll? Mr. Robot rolled round. Where is the round roll? Mr. Robot rolled round. Where is the round roll? Mr. Robot rolled round. Where is the round roll? Mr. Robot rolled round. Where is the round roll? Mr. Robot rolled round. Where is the round roll? Mr. Robot rolled round. Hardly had his Hail Highness heard the easy hedgehog when he hit the hummingbee by the hunter who had horrible beetles in the human hall. I love to hear the horse's hard iron hooves go hammer, 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 hammer on the easy highway. I hit my horse hard. I'm going around to hunt up hogs. Theophilus Thistler.
Okay. Okay, there we go. Looking for multitasking, trying to get too confused. That's Reverend Jim's daughter. You know, the pictures are on. Oh, Mark's not feeling. He's feeling kind of under the weather a little bit here. Okay. What the hell else are we trying to do? Well, we can't screw around. There's something I'm forgetting, but we gotta hit the road. There's Sheriff Ramsey out of Austin. Pray for him, I suppose. Not sure what.
Supposed to be a YouTube. No.
Getting, but not yet. We're not live. So, but we are going to be momentarily. So, yep. Just stand by.
All right, I got some news on YouTube. I'll save it for the show.
Okay. Here we go. Mute out everybody. Please.
Mr. Anderson actually made a comment on my.
Yeah. Mute out, please, Roger. We'll get into that momentarily. Don't worry about it. Just waiting for the right. Now I can talk, as you guys hopefully can remember. I'm down here. I think we do have the screenshot. Yeah. So I should take one too many pictures of her, but was really amazing eyes, really deep, profound. Her mother apparently, I don't know what happened. It's like she offed herself or something. Either, Pharmaceutical misadventure. Is that what they call it sometimes? Look at that cat, hey? Hey, you guys, come on. Mandu, stop it. Speaking of cats, what's your problem, man? He's I don't know what he's doing. He's goofing around. Okay, here we go. Do this, I guess. We're live. Okay, just gonna check. This always is late as all hell. Late. Actually, back here. Okay. Ends up being usually like 30 seconds or something like that. Ridiculous. You'd hope that would connect a little sooner, but hey. Okay, we're not going to mess around. Here we go.
Ahoy, Captain Sinclair. I hope your ship is well. That only Jolly Roger has been through hell. Yo ho, on an adventure we go. In the deep digital high seas, we travel with ease until we reach the outer edge and freeze. The Arctic chill like a very steep hill through the darkness led by our will. Yo ho, on an adventure we go to beyond the outer limits of society, broadcasting the reality. The pirates will always steal the show. It's from WP Army and you know. Yo ho, on an adventure we go. Dock our vessels in the Skullport Harbor. No land lovers will fight for you honor. Your old first mate went AWOL after a tricky kill haul. The legacy of pirate radio is strong. I hope our mates will come along. The changes we seek may not be long. That is why I wrote this song. And we go ho ho, on adventure we go.
Check 1, 1, 2. Welcome, everybody, friends, folks, foes, and fellow pirate mateys, to this week's latest edition of World Pirate Radio News. It's show segment number 333. 333. How intense is that, huh? For all you numerology aficionados, might want to pay a little closer attention than usual. My name, of course, is Jaffe Ryder, host of tonight's show, or this afternoon's, depending on where it is that you happen to call home, your location via the globe. The website is Wprpn.com. We've got a new look to things, actually, thanks in large part to the efforts of Sonia Galactic, courtesy of galacticfire.com. We've also finally managed to catch up a little bit with the archive calendar end of things, the feature show content, June 2025. Now up in place and easily accessible for folks wanting to take a little more of a deep dive into the archives in the event that you missed. The shows with Ann Diamond, Tony Sayers, and, geez, I don't know, maybe Sonia could help me out with the third person. It was not Christian Laterre. Anyways, there was 3 altogether that we interviewed in June. Did you take a look at
I think it was June. Yeah.
the post? It was not Christian, though. But anyways, it's
Anyways.
we've got, Anne and Tony, and there was one more very colorful character as well. So be sure to like, comment, share. Remember to hit subscription notification buttons to help us out as far as the algorithms are concerned. Always very much appreciated. Liking, commenting, sharing, passing word on to friends, family, and coworkers. Really critical stuff. Half of everything that we do generate as far as donations are concerned, whether it be on through the sale of merch via places such as galacticfire.com or elsewhere. Check out the show description end of things, what we have available over there. That's the way to do it. TeePublic and TeePublic and what? There's one. Anyways, we got 3 links altogether, including galacticfire.com. Pirate One Radio at protonmail.com is our email address, and that's not only in the event that you have show concepts, ideas you'd like to bounce off of us, or guests that you'd like to suggest we take a look at, work on bringing on board, but also our PayPal. So just to finish the earlier thought, half of everything we do manage to generate goes directly back to the grassroots, which is really something that is done totally in the spirit of Robin Hood. Of course, this is the good ship, Robin Hood, sailing out here anywhere between, used to be as many as 3 times a week. That got to be a little taxing, burdensome, unfortunately. So 1 to 2 times, depending on who we've got slated, via these high, often all too intrepid digital seas. And hashtag WWRHD, what would Robin Hood do? Probably reach out to people who find themselves at their wits' end with their backs against the wall. And even if just a small token gesture, it's amazing the positive results that can come about and what you can do in engaging your fellow man or woman, whatever the case may be, in providing some positive energy, basically, to a situation that would have otherwise ended quite tragically. Unfortunately, is what we've seen all too often. So I guess that's about it as far as introductions are concerned. We have, as you could probably hear, Sonia Galactic, courtesy of Phoenix, Arizona, connecting with us here this week. Vinny from Brooklyn, Roger Hansen. Roger calls, of course, I'm not sure what the state motto is. Illinois, Roger. It's not the show me state. That's Missouri. But what is the state motto out of Illinois anyways?
Forget about it.
Yeah, no. That's
Would,
not Illinois.
that would be garbage is on Monday.
Oh, stop it. That's a load of crap, it.
But it's the land of Lincoln.
Oh, the land of Lincoln?
Yeah. Which is
Illinois.
it's pretty ironic considering he was president of the North who was born in freaking Kentucky and moved to Illinois.
Frickin' A. So, but that's the thing is obviously
The
you have
Bears.
you have what's that, Yvonne? Was that Yvonne?
Their motto is the Bears.
The
Chicago
Bears,
Bears.
yeah, oh God.
Oh yeah.
The Bears.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think they
doing all we can.
didn't
Go
they
ahead.
win they won like maybe one Super Bowl, I think. Maybe two.
Oh yeah. That's back in the day when they had the fridge, I guess. Is that right?
Well, that would have probably been one.
Remember the fridge?
I think they won another one in the 80s.
Yeah.
Refrigerator Perry. Yeah.
Yeah. Where is he these days anyways? He's still alive, isn't he?
He's probably dead.
He's running in the Senate.
He was quite the phenomenon.
He's running in the Senate?
Your kid? Are you serious?
No, that was a joke. I was goofing.
Oh, okay. He's definitely not running, dude. Like last time I seen him, he was like 400 pounds.
Rolling at best. Has he put on a lot of weight since he left professional sports?
Yeah, well, now I don't know, because he'd have to be old.
Well, come on. He may be 60 years old, tops. He didn't he try professional wrestling for a time as well? Or am I not
He
recalling things maybe as clearly as
I think he did back
a
when
bit of a lark?
what was it?
WrestleMania.
There was another guy, Zeus. Back when Zeus was coming in, he was coming in when he was, I believe, in WrestleMania. You remember Zeus, don't you?
Who is it? Certainly do not. No. Who was he?
Bald-headed guy. Every time he looked at the camera, his eyes were like bloodshot red. Bald-headed.
Vinny, do you remember him?
Yeah, he's the guy in the last 100 yards, I think it was, that movie with Adam Sandler.
Yeah,
Stars.
The Green Mile. Or
Right.
Yeah. The Prisoner.
Wait a minute. You're talking about he died, the big black Michael, wasn't his first name Michael?
Yeah.
Well, Michael Clark Duncan was in Green Mile. Yeah, he's dead, but Zeus isn't, as far as I know.
What was Michael's? I'm sorry. So Michael's what? Duncan? Something Duncan?
Michael Clark Duncan.
Yeah. And you know who he was dating at the time when he passed away? You know who he was hooked up with?
Lady Gaga?
No. Oh, geez. It was one of Trump's reality. Remember the black reality TV star that Omarosa, was that her name?
Really?
Oh yeah.
Oof.
And under what circumstances did he die exactly? I don't know. Really, it's who knows, man. You could really anything like that should be investigated. And was it? Did he have children? Maybe from a previous marriage or relationships? Who's to say? Apparently, he was a pretty decent. He was a decent, like a kind of friendly giant. You wouldn't want to. Obviously, he's the kind of people you don't want to piss off, but pretty easygoing. Not a bully type character by any means. So, real shame. But yeah, Almarosa. How about that? So, okay, Vinny from Brooklyn, Sonia out of Phoenix, Arizona. Roger, courtesy of West Frankfort, Illinois, and Yvon Malenfant, who himself he calls Coquitlam, British Columbia, down there in the lower mainland of southern BC. That's where he's connect. Oh God! And here we go with that setup that he had. He's back with that. He's got to have the headphones on, doesn't he? I'm almost willing to bet. Based on Yvonne, we cannot even hear you talking. All we hear is a lot of static.
Mr.
So we see your lips moving. Please take What happened to your snowball? Get that snowball on. Oh, try talking.
Yeah, the snowball's right here.
There you
Oh, I got to
go.
turn it around.
Oh dear God, this is like night and day. You sound great now. That's the
Awesome.
way to do
That
it.
better?
Oh
Yeah.
hell yeah,
Mr.
Yeah, you bet.
Anderson is on my chat. He's telling you that you're live and that he can hear everything.
Well,
You can hear
that's
Everything.
we got Coley out of Coley Weber out of SNX Radio. Of course, we had Coley on board, as you know, Sonia well remembers a couple of weeks ago. She was a gas. She was a lot of fun. We had a good time there. I think all things considered, really, covered the gamut. So, Sonia, is there anything you like to maybe share on that front? We give a shout out to Coley and
Thank
SNX
you.
Radio. Yeah, you see,
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks for coming over. Appreciate it. For sure.
yeah, Vinny holding things down over on via D Live, Coley and Sonia reaching out to us courtesy of via YouTube right now. So Facebook, Telegram, what else do we got open up here? We're trying to are we live streaming through WPRPN.com? Been working on.
No, I don't think so.
Okay,
I think it is the RTMP thing or whatever you were talking about.
Yeah, we got to get that.
Gotta install that. Takes a sec.
Properly in place. So we'll do that.
While you're streaming, go in, copy the link to your live stream on the channel you're doing it on, and just put it in the comment section in the chat.
I'm not going to I don't know if I even want to mess around with that right now during the live stream, but we'll definitely tackle it.
It's easy.
We'll do that
I can
after
do
the
it
show.
for you. Hold on.
Yeah,
Are you on YouTube right now, Jeff?
we should be. Yeah. I think it
Okay.
looks that way.
Hey, so speaking of YouTube, I don't know if you guys know, but supposedly Jim Jordan has organized a way for all the people who were taken off of YouTube for speech issues to return.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So on Twitter today.
So how's that supposed to work exactly? To what?
I'm not entirely sure. I haven't gotten my channel back yet, which is I want the channel back. I don't want to just start all new because the circumstances for my leaving YouTube. And the last time I was in the middle of a video preview and my channel disappeared.
Jeez.
Right. So I'd like to see exactly what determination was made at that time to do that.
Oh my God, they're never going to come clean.
Well, they have to give a reason for the whole termination of the channel. That should still be there, right? Unless they actually actively erase it. But,
and is this in any way applicable to what is it, Section 230?
I haven't gone into it yet. It probably is in some way.
I see.
I don't know that for sure.
Hey, let's go back to Yvonne, if only because we never know how much time he's going to be spending with us each week here when he does drop by. So harpo.ca, let's hear just a brief rundown of the services you offer, including it's the free half hour. That's always appealing, of quality counseling and therapy. What more can you say to that?
Get a hold of us, and first half hour is free, and all are invited. No obligation to continue unless you want to. Something funny happened yesterday. Michelle and I went to a what do you call that? Sort of an end of life, memorial service at her church. A lady in our church, 99 years old, died.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm thinking, she is expected to live to 113. So
who said
some
that?
People are suspecting foul play.
Yeah, right.
Maybe they should have an autopsy or something.
Yeah, well, who said that? Like, who said she was expected to live to 113?
But she lived to be 99. Yeah,
it's a good joke.
Anyway,
definitely. Yeah. So how
But
else?
she's really
Mhm.
sweet. Yeah.
Oh, great. So you did know her for a number of years, then I guess. Is that right?
Well, since we came back from Korea 9 years ago.
That's right.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
there are a lot of old ladies in our church, and got to watch out for foul play like that rat poison, and stuff like that. Never know.
They're always on the prowl.
Them evil nurses, giving them too much morphine.
Oh, I
I'm
see
kidding.
what you're saying. Well, yeah, no, it's
I'm
kind of
joking.
it's kind
Joking.
yeah, well, no, a little dark humor. It is Canada we're talking about there. So
It is
maybe
Canada.
Naroki
Oh, and last
5.
Tuesday, a
Yeah.
bear got hit down the coast,
Hi.
coast
Sorry,
meridian.
sorry
Yeah.
to jump in and interrupt here, Jaffe. I need an actual. There's some people that because I'm like literally on another bridge call, which is why I can't join in right away. But they requested a link to like. So where are you located? I know you're at D Live, but are you on Facebook or YouTube or Rumble or any of those sites right now?
What you do is you click the main link that goes to Mines, and then it provides you with there's a D Live, YouTube, Facebook, Telegram. I think those are the four main ones, really. So this
All right, there we go.
Mm.
So okay, is it on YouTube right now?
Sure
Yes.
is.
All right, then great. All right, I'll be back in a few minutes here because they requested it because they said it was going to be on.
Uh-huh.
Yes, is the reason why I couldn't jump in here right away, but they asked for it, so I'm jumping in, leaving. Apologies, Yvonne, for having to do that to you. Yeah, I'll be back in a few minutes.
Alrighty.
All
Maybe
good.
we can hear more about the Maid
Yeah,
Canada's
Jaffe, he's around Kunshan, China, I think, isn't he?
who are we
Pretty
talking
much.
about now?
No, you're over Kunshan, China.
Kunsan. Maybe Kunsan.
Kunshan in China.
Geez, I've never
I'm kidding. No.
heard of
Anyway,
that.
so
Something
bear
China
got
going
hit
on around
down
here.
Coast Meridian, and they
Oh,
killed him
the bear got hit. Yeah.
by a car.
The
And
the car killed
anyways,
him. And what's the punchline?
I don't know. It's kind of
No
sad.
punchline.
That's one more bear that won't come through our window. I
Oh.
tell you that much, at least.
I've got a question for you,
Jeez.
Jaffe,
Oh,
too.
so
A lot of bears in the hood at Burke Mountain.
Hi.
Go ahead.
wow, that's something.
Who is Asawi? As always. As always.
I should know that. Asawi.
As
Isn't he like
always.
a Middle Eastern?
No,
He's a Middle Eastern.
At the end of your shows, you're saying, as always, is always your host, or something like that. Who's this guy? As always.
Yeah. That's me. As always, your host.
I thought that
I
was
guess,
a dude. As always.
Referring to myself, it's me.
As always.
Could be like maybe alter ego personality or
As
something if that's what you prefer.
Because it just kind of like whenever you say that,
Yeah.
I always want to ask you that because it sounds Canadian.
Well, yeah, my son. I look. I totally get it, and in a sense that my enunciation, unfortunately, is not always the best. It's not the total top shelf material that some people would prefer or are accustomed to. But we're here doing our best.
As
So
always. As always.
yeah, as always, working on doing our best. So, has everyone had a chance to take a look at the talking points, essentially, what we've managed to, collate or to put together over the course of the past week? There's, as always, of course, it's a busy news week. There's just so many stories, so many issues. We can only cover so many items to begin with, and then in addition to that, only do so much real quality analysis, as far as taking a deep dive on things. So I know Sonia will love to hear it. It was recently Bruce Springsteen's birthday. her favorite.
Hmm.
I don't know,
That's
Champagne
fantastic.
Democrat.
Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, I, yeah, you
John
know,
Cougar
Didn't Big Mike
rules.
go on stage
I
with,
have mixed. I
with
have real
Bruce?
mixed. What's
John,
that?
Didn't Big Mike go on stage with Bruce for his birthday?
Yeah. Oh, that was well, may or who? When you say his birthday, you mean Bruce's or Mike's?
It
Yeah,
was
yeah.
Leonard Cohen's birthday yesterday.
Well, what does it? He's dead. Who? What does it matter, right?
oh wow,
Yeah, I guess.
listen to this.
Yeah, no, yeah. Listen, from a guy that wrote a song. Actually, you know, I should send you a copy of that recent version I re-recorded. Dear Leonard,
Oh really?
Yvonne. Yeah, so yeah, and I actually shared it with Ann Diamond.
Yeah,
who's
send it on. Love to hear it.
Yeah. I changed the key, and I was for years like so. I needed I think everyone should have a vocal coach. That's one of the things that you've been good for. People like you over the years, sounding boards, you know, to things that I do, and we should all. That's what a good friend, I think. One of the qualities they have is a sounding board, and as was told back in the day, you know, years ago in university, that a good friend is someone who tells you when you've got a booger in your nose,
Yeah.
basically. But they don't. Hopefully, they don't come across as too much of an asshole. But they, you know, it taking the piss a little bit, as we all do here, that's what makes the show. It adds a little of the color and life to things, obviously, but constructive criticism, I guess, is what it boils down to. So yeah,
Every campfire's got one or two
Mm-hmm.
assholes.
well,
Every
okay,
campfire's
yeah.
got
Don't tell me, Stinky
Todd
Friedman.
Kelly.
Oh,
No, Todd
who?
Kelly.
Oh, okay, and he was. God, you guys put on an awful performance. National television. Number of the Korean audience members watching, you could see the look of horror on their faces.
Oh, you mean Arirang TV?
It was like a
Motoron?
huge festival, and it was
Yeah,
like
the
it
Mud
was.
Festival. Yeah.
Well, that could have been. And what was the one song? Was it the goat song or something like that? Like, oh, jeez,
Motor
he
On.
was, huh? Yeah, well, could
Motor
have that.
On. You didn't like it?
Look, man, Sense and Sensibility. All right, so
It's a
you know,
movie.
and then, well, it's a book, I think, too.
I thought it was pretty good.
Jane Austen. What, the movie, the book, or the performance?
Performance.
You know, of course you would, because you're a part of it. So you were stoked, and I know you look upon it and recall it with you know,
Well,
fond
let
memories.
the people
but
decide what they think of it.
well, I just kind of did, and the Korean audience members. This old well, the younger people might have grooved on it. That's the thing. Okay, I'll give you that much. If it was the Mudfest, younger people, but it's, you know how it is, like more often, quite often you see like the older crowd, like us, our age. Only they're not as hip as we are. Clearly,
What, they want trot music, so what?
They want the cha 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 cha
See,
cha.
I don't get that though, because like freaking
Boom
our generation came from the greatest freaking
Yeah,
time period of music, and all
we're
these
talking
people.
Korea, dude.
Yeah, but still,
You have no idea.
but still, they go to like old music before our generation. Even like now, they're listening to stuff your parents listen to, and they're our age. You know, it's crazy.
Koreans?
Yep.
All of them. It don't matter what.
What do you mean
country.
all of them? All of them? Like what? All of them Asians?
All
are you talking
people our ages always seem to go back farther.
That's right.
It's weird.
Oh yeah. Well, it's natural. There's something about it. There's something in our psyche. The logos, the word. You know how bumblebees bumble and fish swim and birds fly.
Mhm.
Humans, we've got our inner logos as well. So, and there's something about it, maybe sentimentality or what have you. But I've been doing that, going back and revisiting the music that I kind of mocked and turned my back on, like Hank Williams, for example. In the day, it's like, nah, I'm cooler than that, man. Like we're here to rock. So,
That's right.
but then you get to a point where it's like, wait a minute, maybe there's a reason. Like people were, drawn to this, and the mark that he left, the impressions, and the impact that he had. It was for good reasons. So should take a second look. And when you do, quite often, and it's with anything, with literature, music, film, people, you take a second look, evaluation. That's like, oh, well, okay. You see it with a whole new set of eyes. Vinny, go ahead.
Sorry, can I just mention one thing quickly? Going back to that song you're trashing,
Motor On.
which
It
is
was a
fine.
performance in the venue.
But I would like to hear from the Peanut Gallery what other people think. And remember, the band we had backing us, we rehearsed for like 7 minutes, literally.
And then
We
Todd
really didn't
Kelly
have
was
any time.
Todd was a maniac, man. Guy's a maniac. That's the thing. That's like there's a.
Why
And
isn't
it's like,
this chat working?
can you hear me?
Oh, there we go. Yeah, but I mean,
He's a wild
here's
man.
the song. Listen to it when you have time. Let me know what you think.
Put the link in the chat. Yeah. Okay, Vinny, we will. Thank you.
Yeah, go
Thank
ahead,
you,
Vinny.
Yvonne.
Thanks.
Yep.
No
I love your
problem.
opinion.
I'm gonna go listen to it again after the show, actually, to get and just give it and just kind of.
Okay.
You're sure that was the Mudfest? It seemed like it was a more kind of bourgeois, kind of cookie cutter.
Well, it depends
mainstream.
which one you're talking about. This is Mud Festival.
Televised. It was televised. Yeah. Okay. Vinny? Yes.
Yeah, so I want to address the first item in your list here, the Prison Planet lockdown.
Yes.
15-minute freedom cities.
15-minute Trump's 15-minute, freedom cities. That's like the Patriot Act. Ooh, you must be a patriot to support that. Devil's in the details.
Yeah.
Just don't
Well, there's a great site for people to look up the progress of these things, right? Because they're going by different names. One other name they're going by is C40 cities.
Oh, the C4 cities.
Yeah, C40. So if you go to c40.org, you'll get the skinny on that whole thing.
Oh, wow. Is Palantir, BlackRock, let me guess, how much money have they invested in this project?
It's trillions and quadrillions just being passed around.
Musk, Trump, they're all in on it. They got to be. And do you know that whole Prison Planet term? Apparently, a lot of people think, oh, Alex Jones. Guess what? From what I heard, and I've tried to fact check it. I couldn't quite get to the bottom of things, but it came from the Jesuits. And even you can sort of bring it up to more modern times if within the context of what the OTO or Orient Templi Oriental Ordo Templi Orientals. Hang on.
It's crazy.
Go
ahead.
Hang on. Hold your horses. That the slave shall serve. Okay, that's their end goal, end all, be all. It's like the transhumanist, post-human. That means no humans. End game and agenda that they're working towards. And the slave shall serve. OTO, check it out. So, and Prison Planet, that in part, well, in a big, basically you look at the panopticon. It can't that term itself. That's the all-seeing eye, basically, having come from, or at least been further developed, courtesy of Jeremy Bentham. And I'm not sure about John Stuart Mill. Maybe John Mill's father and Jeremy Bentham. They had a big hard-on for this, the Prison Planet all-seeing eye, so that wherever you went, you were just constantly under surveillance, being targeted. And, what's it good to say about the best kind of slave? They're the ones who actually think they're free. So go ahead, Roger. Sorry to keep you waiting.
It's fine. When you mentioned that kind of freaked me out because we had just talked about, I think Sonia was in the conversation too, but L. Ron Hubbard also came up with the term Prison Planet and the concept was supposed to be Earth was a prison by spiritual beings called Thetans.
Thetan, yeah. Thetan. Like, it almost sounds like Satan, don't you think?
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
and that's kind of messed up because of all these supposed conservatives who are following frickin' Alex Jones faithfully, who
Did you see his rant? The way I think we've got, maybe that's in the talking points as way. Did you see the way with Owen Schroyer stepping away from InfoWars, the way that he dumped on him?
yeah.
He just completely lost his shit. I've really lost a lot of respect for Alex. Like he's totally mental. A total. He's sociopathic, absolutely narcissistic. It'd be interesting to see what someone like, I don't know, Jordan Peterson or whoever, maybe Dr. Phil. Nah, Dr. Drew. Dr. Drew, I think, would provide probably the best. I think he was even on Alex's show at one time or another. But just keeping him honest, holding him to account like this. You can't, and no apology on his part either. Like, Owen gave so much to the show. Owen did time. Owen took the rap for Alex, didn't he? What did he remember?
The J6 thing. Yeah.
Yeah, he put himself out there big time. I got so much more, and the way he carried himself in just kind of handing in his, just proceeding with his resignation and saying, I'm on to greener pastures. Like, okay, with all these InfoWar employees, they're such really, I don't know, it's sycophants too, like the cult of Alex. They sign an NDA. That's one of the things that a lot of people talk about. And then, who knows what that ultimately entails. But and the exclusivity, like, did Owen shine? Did he break his contract? What is he? Speaking of L. Ron Hubbard, like the billion-year contract, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is Owen Schroyer expected to completely surrender his everything, his entire professional career, and have it, committed to Alex and InfoWars? Is he not a free agent?
Well, he doesn't own InfoWars anymore, though. That's the good thing. Alex Jones lost it in the lawsuit.
Well, it's not, don't say the Babylon Bee.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know for sure who owns it, to be honest.
Yeah, nor do I. Go ahead, Vinny. And I got something to say about Thetans, too. I want to add something about Thetans after Vinny's done. Go ahead, Mr.
Yeah,
Vincent.
well, he contends it was a backstabbing, like he implies David Knight did to him as well. That's what it was.
Yeah. Well.
Except that we don't really see it. Like all this stuff that happened, what happened apparently behind the scenes. So it's his word versus Owen's.
Well, what exactly? Like the backstabbing? Like, can we have some? Is there any concrete, substantive details?
Nothing that applies to us. That's what I mean. It was all the InfoWars internal battle stuff.
Well, did they not keep like an InfoWars like diary of what was taking place behind the scenes if there were issues? I guess a large part of it was Trump and Israel. That's how the story goes, right? And then Alex denied that.
One of the things Owen accused Alex of is that he was stifling content and then horning it on shows to tell him what to say and what not to say. That's one thing.
And didn't David Knight say the same thing himself?
That's what I understand as well. So it's interesting.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'd like, Alex deserves a lot of credit for the work that he's done over the years, but he's also just too much of an egomaniac. And what is that intelligence outfit that he's been kind of quietly working with over the years? That's very interesting as far as this whole web of intrigue is concerned. And especially within the context of the recent, the Kirk assassination, and how everyone, there's a real, I think it's, it's basically, we're in the middle of a war. It's a war, like InfoWars talks about the people's struggle for war, for people's hearts and minds, the battle. It's always been that way, all down through history. And sometimes there's people who end up getting martyred, and when they do, it only makes their legacy and what they had to offer more relevant, more important. Look at, like, they live on a lot longer than they probably would have otherwise. John Lennon, MLK, JFK, Gandhi, So I don't know. It's like decisions. But that the whole Israel business and that angle, Musk and Trump, the bromance, is it back on? That's the kind of cover splash photo. Of course, we should get to that.
I hope it is, because freaking, you know what? Elon was on the right track. If freaking they would have taken that money and given it back to the freaking voters that got ripped off, that money would have been actually used for something instead of putting it back into the government. You know what I mean? Because when they put it back in the government, it just disappeared.
Oh. Billions of and what was the campaign? Refresh my memory. The name wasn't that long ago.
Oh God, no.
Well, USA, they took
Right.
they audited
US
USAID,
I can't believe I forgot the name
goes
too.
back to the Kennedy era. So they had anyone?
I forgot the damn name. I've been calling it an audit, and I've completely forgot the freaking actual name.
Look it up.
Of it.
And you're right though, but it never goes back to the people, does it? It never does.
No.
It just and the banks are too big to fail, right? And the bankers too powerful to jail. So,
you should think that there's all this money going back and forth, right? But it's only going. It's the greatest part of it is only going back and forth among these scumbags, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right.
And that actually could be all of us instead of the stupid bastards, right? And I think that's where we're going.
Sonia's got her hand.
Yep.
Yeah. Sonia's got her hand raised, and TikTok. Don't forget, we got to get to that too. We've got about 15 minutes, and it's total Zionist. And we say Zionist, like it's largely that can be a lot of things. But bottom line, of course, is just undying, unwavering support for Israel. And
Mr. A wants a shout out. Shout out, Mr. A.
Yeah, Mr. Anderson. Thank you. Yeah, he's been struggling with some health issues, and we've been trying to reconnect with him here. We tagged him over on Twitter just recently.
He's on fire tonight, dude. He's in love with you. He's been getting on my chats. He's been doing your chats.
Oh wow, great. Well, that's great. Everyone, if you can, positive energy, for prayers, whatever, however it is people approach these things for him, and back into the fold. Hopefully here at some point, back on track. And
he said for me to have you walk the bike.
Walk the bike?
Yes, he says have him walk the bike.
B-I-K, like bicycle?
Yes.
Anyone translation?
I have no idea.
Okay, so somebody was Sonia, were you gonna? You were going to say something about Mr. Anderson, Vinny. I'm not sure if you finished your point. We'll get back to the screen share. I mean, we can take a look at the comments, of course, too, in real live time. Let's see what's going on here. I'm not even sure how this bloody the beam works. There we go. Working with audio and video. Not sure who that is. Working with audio and video. Is that maybe Roger Hansen, incognito? So,
yes.
Yeah,
the live
Mr.
is
Anderson.
Working now on the website.
Oh, it is? Really?
Yes.
Through Wprpn.com.
Yep.
I don't know how that managed to be the case, but we'll talk about that.
I altered it a little bit just now.
That's crazy. So, all right.
We got to
All
do it
right.
offline here sooner or
Good
later.
stuff. So, all right, we got about 10 minutes basically. Let's take a look at the talking points. TikTok's takeover, VPN. Oh, can you surprise, Mossad's and Unit 8020 8200 and the IDF. Well, isn't that a shock? Not really. Yeah, but
Jeffy,
total surveillance and technology to the highest
Yep.
world's
I don't know
top
how
number
that
one
managed
most
to
sophisticated. Yet
come
October
how it
7th
managed to
came
be
as
the
a total
case.
surprise.
But
Kind of
Right,
know.
right. Go ahead, Yvonne. Go ahead, Yvonne.
yeah, in the talking points, oh geez,
Altered
I
it
just
a little
lost it.
bit.
What do they mean when they're talking about Israel warns about some kind of attack or
Yeah,
a warning
thank
of some
you.
kind?
Thank
What's that
you.
about?
Terror
Thanks.
event that now
Sure.
we're going to hopefully connect with Robert Morningstar if he's available. I was helped, provide little wingman support on his show last night and mostly the after show end of things. But there's some rumblings in the underground that there's a warning coming via some obscure sort of Israeli group of some kind. He'll be able to flesh things out a little better. But for all Jews in New York City to evacuate by today, if for safety reasons. So it's, according to them, it could be just a total fabrication as well, and it's a psyop of sorts. But if they know what's best for them to leave the city, almost like reminiscent of what took place on September 11th with what was that phone technology that was
It was
used?
Odigo, the messaging app.
Odigo, that's right, Odigo, correct. Yes, there you go. So, all right, yep. So that's the deal. That basically, so yeah, and he'll be able to kind of flesh things out a little better for us if he connects following the break. We've got about a little under 10 minutes here, folks. Are there any more questions regarding the talking points? Who passed away this last week? Usually we got this, Sonny's got her hand up there. So
Robert Redford did.
Well, that's right. That was like last week. That's right. 89 years of age. Was anyone like a big fan of him or his movies? He wasn't he the
99-year-old Vera from church passed away.
Okay, all right. I think you shared that in the pre-show audio tech check end of things. Is that right? Sometimes everything just becomes a bit of a blur. Why don't we hear that? Yeah. So the Sundance Film Festival, I think you helped to launch that. And
3 Days of the Condor, maybe one of my favorite movies.
Butch Cassidy, Sundance Kid. Yeah, all kinds. The Sting. Yeah, he was like producer, director, actor. He did it all. So was he ever married? Like he was kind of, his private life was kind of, didn't hear too much about. Was he like a fancy free kind of freewheeling bachelor his whole life, or kind of?
Don't know.
Yeah.
He was in that TV show about the Pima Indians down in the south, I think. What's that called?
Yeah.
Something Winds.
Oh, the Wind Talkers.
Really good show. Something like that.
They were the code
Cool
breakers. Code breakers in World War II.
No, it was
Navajo?
about it's set 1971 around then.
Yeah.
And it's about this investigation. These police, they're actually they're not Pima. They're what's the other one next to it? Around New Mexico, Arizona. What do you say?
Navajo, Hopi.
Yeah, Navajo, I think.
Well, okay.
The only movie
really
I
good show,
actually
though.
liked about him was Legal Eagles. Remember that? That one's kind of what reminds me of when you're talking.
Robert Redford.
Yeah, Robert Redford. He was really good when he played those kind of roles.
Who was his co-star?
Oh God.
On-screen romantic. Oh, Daryl Hannah or Julie Roberts? Daryl Hannah?
I think it was. Yeah.
Something like that. Okay.
It was.
Anyways,
Well, there was actually two chicks. Daryl Hannah, I think, was the the bad one. And then he had a partner. It was another attorney. It was a brunette-headed chick.
Oh, All the President's Men. Don't forget about that one.
Oh
right?
yeah,
So
forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah. But you mentioned Daryl Hannah. Apparently, she's kind of like almost. She has this Black Widow sort of reputation. She was with Jackson Brown for quite a number of years, and there were allegations of, I think, domestic abuse on his part. But I think, as it turned out, is in the end, his sort of he was redeemed. His reputation was, he managed to win it back, and she's not as innocent as some, she would maybe like the world to believe. She's now with Neil Young, who's got me sort of wanting to mention and draw to people's attention. It was I was just so turned off by his acerbic, the opening song. I don't even know the name of it, but it was just a rant. It was just this kind of verbal, I don't know, like a kind of a quasi-poetic diarrhea. It was a most, like acidic, acerbic kind. With Farm Aid 40 that opened and then kind of went down just this past week, there was a great version of Maggie's Farm that Jesse Wells and a number of other young performers collaborated on. I think it was the closing number to Farm Aid 40. But so Neil opened
Also,
with this.
The Natural, Robert Redford.
Oh yeah. Oh, that was great.
Yeah, and he was in an episode of Dark Winds. That's the name of it.
And
along with George E. Martin.
Okay.
They're playing chess.
Not the fifth Beatle, George Martin, but the other George.
No, the guy who did Frodo and the Boys or Lord of the Rings.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Oh no.
It's the other Game of Thrones.
Fantasy writer, author, yeah. So let me just throw it there. We got a little more than 3 minutes left here. AKA Charlie Sheen.
Oh God. All right. Give it a second and we will have him back up here in a minute. Now we are having an issue with trying to find his channel on DLive like we usually do, so I'm using YouTube today.
Oh, I don't know if I even want to mess around with that right now during the live stream, but we'll definitely tackle it.
I can do it for you.
We'll do that
it's
after
easy.
the show.
I can do it for you. Hold on.
Oh, and the Boys or Lord of the Rings. No.
He's the other
Game of Thrones.
Fantasy writer, author, yeah. So let me just throw it there. We got a little more than 3 minutes left here. AKA Charlie Sheen, the documentary. I really, oh, come on. You serious? We don't need to listen to that either. Why that kicks in right after Teams wraps up is anybody's guess, but they cut us off 3 minutes early, the bastards. Can you believe it? So, my God. But yeah, AKA Charlie Sheen. I was pretty impressed, actually, getting... I was never like a huge fan of Charlie, and I'm not like a fan of any movie stars at all to speak of that I can think of. It's just not my thing, So I can appreciate their work, the art form that they're a part of, and that they produce. That's commendable, and worth. You give credit where credit is due, right? It's kind of my way of looking at things. So, but yeah, AKA Charlie Sheen, a 2-part sort of documentary. it's really, it shows the humanity, the kind of, and the frailties of the guy and his addictive personality, obviously. But now, can you believe it? He's been 8 years sober. Really? 8 years stone cold sober? Like, wow, way to go, Charlie. Good work. Of course, I mean, how close to death was he? So many, so many times. He had a number of really good friends, like a small support network of people that he could trust and turn to, who had his best interests in mind, including his dope dealer, who worked on, uh, reducing the amount, I guess, cutting the crack cocaine the guy was doing, and making it less potent over time. So, but and a long term friend from his childhood days, who a black guy who he grew up with, who was a avid baseball player, as Charlie has been all of his life. I didn't know he was such an athlete, So it just goes to show how close attention, sort of attention, I pay to these people and their lives. So no, we don't want to hear from you quite yet, Hiroki. Just if you're listening out there, stand by. We'll be reconnecting in just a couple minutes. So, but yeah, I'd recommend that to anyone who's able to access torrents or through whatever means they're able. Uh, they did a lot of filming in their childhood days, just kind of independent filming, and great job, him and the brothers. Don't know if there's any sisters in the family, but he's now got, I think, 6 kids through several marriages. He's still very close with Denise Richards and wife number 3, Brooke Mueller. And who he's with now exactly, I'm not sure. So, every people out there that followed his escapades down through the years when he was on Infowars, among other things, and just really letting loose. He's a pretty funny guy. You didn't even need to be high to be funny, actually, just to really quite a real wit and intelligence, but I think very fragile and sensitive in many ways too. So does he get that from his father, or who exactly? But his dad was always there and in his corner, trying to, as any supportive, caring parent would be. So I'm not so sure about his mother. She stayed more in the background, based on what the documentary was provided, basically. So, and then he contracted HIV, and the reason for that, apparently, he'd been a pretty straight, sexually oriented, straight guy for most of his life, but with the crack, apparently it makes you really hyper sexual, and as a result, you know how it is when, like, for example, people drinking, their morals, their I don't know, say threshold or what have you, but how they would generally operate in the world, it can often find itself degraded and compromised. So, and with crack, God only knows. But that's how the story went, and we hear so often about, just hypersexualization is what he called it, and you know, who knows how many guys he slept with? Oh God. Without having to get into too many details, just to kind of use your imagination. As Lou Reed pops up on the screen here. Speaking of, sure if you go so far as to say notorious bisexual celebrities, and he and David Bowie, these are well known, renowned, purported to have. That's how they live their lives. So their lifestyle and personal decisions, private lives, basically. But yeah, great documentary. AKA Charlie Sheen. It really, did a great job in helping to provide insight into and reveal the humanity of the guy. So it's great to see that he does, at least for the past 8 years now, have a handle on his demons, essentially. But he will be a lifelong addict, and someone who, as with this Brooke Mueller character, both of them, like a lot of their friends, are dead because of lifestyle choices that were made, and the addictive personalities. So very sad, very tragic, and these are cautionary tales, folks. Something that's not a cautionary tale, hopefully, that you can actually benefit from in a positive way, is Red Dragon Herbs and Teas, along with CannaSense Cannabis Collective. So that's why we've got them on board here, and promote their products and what they have to offer. Red Dragon Herbs and Teas, with any order of $25 or more, you will immediately receive a 10% discount. All you simply have to do is let Ryan know one of two things, either simply Pirate Radio or Pirate Code. Meanwhile, via the CannaSense Cannabis Collective end of what we have to offer to you here this week, folks, take a look at it. CannaSense.com. Our referral code is simply 5813 5813. We'll be back in a flash. Do not touch that radio dial or computer mouse.
Medical cannabis is now legal by telemedicine. Get the medicine you need by getting reviewed for a medical cannabis card. Contactless appointments available at CannaSense.com. For as low as $39, you can get reviewed for a medical cannabis card. That's CannaSense.com for a licensed medical cannabis doctor review. CannaSense.com has all the information you need to get connected with a doctor for a $39 medical cannabis appointment. CannaSense.com. CannaSense is common sense.
Catering exclusively to the Des Moines, Iowa area and beyond, Red Dragon Herbs and Teas is a small, family-owned business dedicated to the creation of only the finest quality artisan herbal tea blends. Drawing upon many of the world's most richly established customs and traditions, Red Dragon Herb's mission is about more than just getting their products out to the market. They also strive to help educate their customers on the wider benefits, history, and folklore of all their plants. Of course, any seasoned pirate knows when they're fixin' to tango with the Kraken, you best be powered up with at least one of the finest select quality premium items, freely offered via Red Dragon Herbs and Teas wide inventory. Choosing from any of their caffeine-free headache relief or rest and relaxation blends, history has proven their products among the best sources of scurvy prevention and vitamin supplementation. Red Dragon Herbs and Teas, bringing you guaranteed homegrown health relief.
Red Dragon Herbs and Teas, bringing you guaranteed homegrown health relief. We are back, folks, with the second hour of this week's live streaming edition of World Pirate Radio News. It's show segment number 333, 333. Pretty powerful numerology there. So it'll be interesting to see the impact this one has on our listeners. Hopefully positive enough to the point where folks will be willing to help us out a little more as far as liking, commenting, sharing, remembering to hit subscription notification links, bells, and the like. It's all about the algorithms, isn't it? Passing word along to friends, family, and co-workers. And if you're able to help us out, buy us a virtual coffee, Pirate Grog, always appreciated. Or, for example, take a look at what pirate swag we have to offer via galacticfire.com and elsewhere. TeePublic. Another of the merch websites. Pirate One Radio at protonmail.com is our PayPal email address. Any digital love you send us, appreciate it as well. Thinking outside the box, that can-do approach and attitude. Half of everything that we do manage to generate on the donation front, that end of things, goes directly back to charity. We take that quite seriously. Very much in line with the whole WWRHD, what would Robin Hood do? Ethos and philosophy. So we're going to call back here. Let's see what's going on here. I'm not sure if Vinny is checking out or what exactly. He's looking at some of the comments. So stand by, folks, if you're out there listening via DLive, Facebook, or otherwise. So, okay. All right. Well, yeah, here's stand by. Got your channel open there. So one of the things that we need to do during commercial break is everybody drop out. And then just wait for me to call you back up.
Oh, okay.
Just try to remember that for future consideration. We do have Robert back here, which is great. New personality, of course.
Yeah, he said he's watching some show.
No, I'm here. I'm back.
Okay.
I was watching Netanyahu got booed, and more than half the UN Security Council General Assembly walked out.
Good.
They were hooting.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like he's run out of time essentially. What was this deal that they made with him basically to take care of business, as it were, just engage, pursue your genocide for a year, and if you can't achieve your goals,
clean up the military operations, and then the deadline was supposed to be today. President Trump's speech was amazing. A lot of Trump haters don't like it, but I thought it was great. He told the Europeans that your countries are going to hell, and migration. UN paid $375 million to help the onslaught, the invasion of the illegal migrants, and he said the UN is supposed to stop invasions. You're not supposed to encourage them, and that's what you did.
Mm-hmm.
And he told the European countries, you're destroying your country, you're destroying your culture. You've allowed uncontrolled migrations. He said London used to be a beautiful city, but now we have a terrible mayor, and now you want to introduce Sharia law. And he said, you can't do that. You can't do that. If you guys want the link, I have the link. It's on PBS.
Send it over.
There was
okay. Let me get it.
There was a fundamentalist Muslim in Texas who was going around to it's like Islamic merchants in his neighborhood and trying to extort them into only having halal products in their store. This was Texas that this was happening.
Yeah.
Oh.
He was trying to like threaten them and
Well, that's Jews do the same thing. Jews do the same thing with the kosher stamp. You see, basically, both are asking Western nations, Caucasian consumers.
Now, I think, in fact,
food.
Yvonne, you raised the point, and thank you for drawing this to our attention. You were curious, and that's why we're glad to have Robert here. Now, there was mention, there was talk of a potential terror attack, Robert. There's a warning that came via who?
And Demi means half, doesn't it?
Qatar.
Well, Demi means living in a half-slave state. You have to pay an organization that was formed in 1923 by a really rabid communist, a really vicious guy, one of the worst sadists that I've ever seen as far as history is concerned. Zev Jabotinsky. Jabot.
Can you type it in the chat, Robert, please?
Yeah. Let me get you the president's speech. I'll put it in the chat. Get that down there, and then I'll cut in. I didn't get a chance to see Netanyahu, but he said he wasn't thinking of going. Well, he shouldn't have gone. I swear, everybody marched out of the General Assembly. Not everybody, a handful of people stayed, but he's not well received.
It'll be interesting to see how Fox News and other sort of pro-Israel, Sky News and GB News, they try to spin that one.
Yeah.
Because they're just undying. The amount of Israel lobby APEC style type money that they receive, you really got to wonder about. At least I really do. So, and the pharmaceutical, that's another issue too. Big Pharma, as it came out, was it last year that Anderson Cooper, 2/3 of his salary came directly from Big Pharma?
Yeah.
What a jerk.
The reason is that they own the media. There's no ways about it.
Well, have you heard the news that apparently YouTube has decided that it's going to allow content creators that got their, which includes mine, by the way, to reapply to get their accounts reinstated. This just happened today.
Yeah. How about, and somebody who said, was that Roger that brought that up here earlier? That this what you're hitting on here, Naroki? And it'd be interesting to see, will the bastards finally allow us to monetize? We got to the 1,000. We worked our asses off, our collective pirate asses off, to just hit the 1,000 subscriber mark, and then they say, oh well, hey, great job, but unfortunately, you're not going to be able to qualify for monetization. We don't really think you're that compatible with, we like to, you're kind of an embarrassment to YouTube.
Yeah, it took 2.5 to 3 years to get back all of the, keep in mind, YouTube's now the smallest of my platforms, but it took 2.5 to 3 years to get back all the followers on all the combined platforms to exceed the numbers that I had on YouTube. Keep in mind, though, it took me a long time to get up to the number of followers that I had on YouTube the first time around.
Were you deleted? They took your channel down?
They took my channel down. It was
close. It was close to. They almost have taken us down several times. We've had 2 strikes against us on multiple occasions. We're down now to a warning. Thank God. It's just every time I log on, to drop by YouTube, I kind of got this feeling in my stomach where it's like, okay, is this going to be the time again where I had the stupid strike business? And they never give her any reason, and it's for the most. It's ridiculous. The whole thing is just it's absurd and ridiculous.
Well, there's a guy. Again, he's a Manosphere guy, but he's been on YouTube for years. His name is Stardust or Thinking Ape. He just suddenly got, and you're gonna love this. He got community. He got 2 strikes on against him for copying other people's content. Now, if you go over and you look at Thinking Ape's content, aka Stardust. Stardust does his own content. Like, he doesn't borrow stuff from other people, right? And it's like, and it's like he just went.
Exclusive,
Yeah, and he just
original.
went.
Hmm.
Yeah, he's like most like 99.9% of his stuff is original content, right? And they basically he got 2 strikes against him for quote unquote borrowing other people's content. And he just went, no, forget it. I'm done with YouTube. And he's gone over to Rumble now. But Stardust, this was just like a week ago that started, a week or 2 weeks ago that Stardust just went, no, forget it. I'm through with
Oh
YouTube.
yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's hardly the worst of the way that they've treated their content producers
The
over the years. There's
weasels
just
Oh,
at
well, you heard about
YouTube.
what's going on with AI over there, and how they're only they're trying to just promote the AI content and not the actual like content producers.
oh, you're kidding.
Yeah, that's also
It's
something that happened in the last 3 or 4 months
It's
too.
disgusting. It's so obvious. Like the
It's
ads that pop up. It's like this is
they're just
it's gross,
horrible.
disgusting. It's like why am I forced to watch this crap?
Yeah.
You know.
Exactly.
Oh, and they really like they've recently decided to jump back in there and start reinforcing the ad blockers again. When they first started, they were pushing so hard that they were even going after sites like those like Tor, like the Tor browser and Brave. They were even trying to force you to watch ads even on those search engines.
Mhm.
Now, I know Brave stopped them from doing that. So if I watch YouTube content, I watch YouTube content on Brave browser. I don't go and watch on Google or Internet Explorer or anything like that. I'll just go over to Brave and
Yeah.
watch there.
Robert
Right.
really likes Brave a lot as well. Here, Robert Morningstar. He's
Brave
touts
is
its
Brave is
features.
slowly becoming my search engine of choice.
Yeah.
It used to be DuckDuckGo,
Yeah.
but then they got woke.
Oh, very pro Ukraine, no questions asked. Here's another one for Ashkenazi mafia. They're just they're just all right. They're totally fine in our books, not a problem. So, organized crime in Canada, speaking of mafias, has exploded, doubling since between just in recent years, 2021 to 22.
Do they
And
really exist though? Come on,
it's disgusting.
This is Canada,
I
dude.
could bring up an organized. It's definitely an organized crime thing. It's around immigration too.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever heard of a content producer called Mario of the North?
No.
Okay, there's an immigration scam, and it's only being run in Canada. What they do is they put these, and they actually, because they want to, they're basically laundering the job offer. They will put these job offers up at the Canada Search Job Board, and they're usually $35, $36 an hour, but some reason they never hire. And what they do is they will sell these jobs, like somebody over in India or whatever will pay like $30,000, $40,000 to get that job. And what they will do is they will expedite, because now they have a job here, right? And they will expedite the immigration process for them. And they will come to Canada. And then what they will do is they will basically pay them what is tantamount to slave wages it's a form of indentured servitude for a few years before allowing them to, I don't know how long it lasts, but this is something that's been going on for a few years now. Naturally, of course, CBC, CTV, Global, it's not being reported at all.
They're all bought off.
Yeah.
Carney's got them all bought off. Yeah.
Yep. The only place you're seeing this stuff is either at Juno or True North. I can't remember what the third one is.
Rebel News would cover it probably too, and
Yeah,
and us. So journalist Sam Cooper estimated 150,000 organized criminals operate. Actually, the gangs themselves. There's just it'll boggle your mind to know the truth, but infiltrating everything from real estate to politics. Oh, so did you see that one East Indian member of parliament? I'm not sure what his name is, but he can barely speak English. And it's like, how did this guy? What is he even doing here? You can hardly understand what he's saying, and how he got elected exactly is, well, we'll leave that to our audience members to decide.
It's a great book, Samuel Cooper, Willful Blindness.
Yes, that's that courtesy of you. We're working on. We'd love to have him on the show, Sonia. If you can line that up, reach out to him.
I think he's in Ottawa now. He used to be in Vancouver.
No, this
What
is
about
happening in
Bill
Canada.
C6? Pardon me?
All of this is happening in Canada.
A lot of it, yeah. Bill C6 as well. Naroki, well, because we don't have you here that often. Can you comment on that? I think we got it right there. Bill C6.
All right.
Online
Well,
censorship.
Carney backed off on bringing back the Trudeau censorship bill, but they're in first reading of a kind of a watered down bill, and of course it has all the it still has all the vagueness of the Trudeau bill. It's watered down. I don't know the specific details because I haven't looked yet. But yeah, they are. Carney is not. Yeah. Carney is basically trying to follow through on all the stuff that Trudeau is doing. He's just being doing.
Do you know, Naroki, let me just jump in here for a moment to kind of add some further clarity to things. Guess who was pulling all the strings from behind the scenes during the Castro years?
That would be. I'm going to have to bet it was a globalist. I'm going to say George Soros.
Yeah. He had some influence, but even more closer to Trudeau at the time. And he was a major high-profile figure in the Liberal Party, who now finds himself in even a more prestigious position.
I'm trying to remember the name. I can't remember it.
You just mentioned him a couple times.
Soros?
No.
Mark Carney?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. Carney was the one who came up with the idea.
Puppet master.
Yeah, Carney was the one who came up with the idea of shutting down the bank accounts during the trucker protest.
During the Freedom Convoy.
That was Carney's. Well, I mean, it wasn't necessarily entirely Carney's idea, but yeah.
Freeland, you can bet Freeland had a hand in that too.
Yeah.
What a bitch.
Yeah, it was. That was Carney. I think that was, to a great extent, that was Carney's idea to do that.
Let's give a shout out here. Thank you for that, Naroki. Let's give a shout out here to Buttery Sprite. Hello, fellows from Ireland. You lads been drinking today? Is it St. Patrick's Day? I don't know. Tom Petty, the man, fellas, free falling. That's right, Buttery Sprite. We love our Tom Petty. There's no doubt about that. He left behind quite a legacy. Speaking of, the likes of Robert Redford and others, folks in film, music.
Robert Redford.
Jeffy.
St.
Patrick's Day is March 17th.
Yeah, I know.
And don't forget it.
But remember, this guy, he is Irish, so I mean, when aren't they drinking? Come on. So, but
I'm Irish by osmosis. I'm Irish by osmosis because I went to high school taught by the Irish Christian Brothers, greatest teachers.
Oh, okay. Good. That's right. Sure. David Wilkes, Zane Ivey, Zane saying here. So thank you for dropping by, David. Zane saying it appeared that someone at the UN shut down the escalator when T tried to get on. I guess T is Trump. Shut off the teleprompter when T was giving his talk. Petty. So is that true? Did you hear about the elevator or the teleprompter getting shut off when?
That was on a previous visit, I think.
That's true. The teleprompter thing is true.
Trump, do it all.
Trump came up and said, "I love speaking here," and I'm going to do it naturally. The teleprompter's not working. Somebody's in big trouble.
Yes.
I didn't hear about the escalator. But the cool thing is this: you're screaming and yelling at Netanyahu, and I swear, I think 80% of the UN General Assembly walked out. I'm about to watch it. I have him on hold.
That's crazy. Yeah. So that's great. It's in a good way, of course, because
the reckoning is here.
Sure. Now, what do you think? What is the next? Do you think this had anything to do with their suspicion that Netanyahu, the Mossad, on Netanyahu's orders, presumably, they had a hand in Kirk's killing?
Yes, I think that's
related.
the general consensus. Why would he come out 4 times to deny it? You know.
You think that the UN members have been following the Kirk?
Oh, absolutely. I said on the show yesterday that the death of Charlie Kirk was a shot heard round the world. And this is the literal one, because the one in 1776 was only in Massachusetts. You know, Concord Bridge is a term in American history. The battle at Concord Bridge they fought the British, didn't let them cross the bridge. And that was called the shot heard round the world. Well, this one is the shot heard round the world in reality, because everyone's seen it and everyone's heard it and everyone's come to a realization that Israel had its hand in. There were the NRO is the National Reconnaissance Organization office here in the United States, monitor higher than the CIA. They monitor everything. And a contact of mine told me that they monitored 19 Israeli-issued cell phones in the immediate vicinity of the crime scene. So,
well, there was the individual who got arrested the first time around, and I thought this was really curious.
Mm-hmm.
Like, somebody laid the odds out that this guy was in New York the day 9/11 happened.
Yeah,
the
old man
in Boston during the marathon bombing, and now he's at Charlie Kirk. Yeah. I mean, somebody like.
But hang on, who is this? This is an old Robert
George Zinn. George Zinn.
Ah, it's a Jewish guy. That's got to be a Jewish surname.
Yeah,
of course.
It is. Yeah, it is. He's Jewish.
On the first day, that guy was snatched by the police and forced to the ground, and someone took a picture of him and put it up without his name or anything. It's just in the first hour and a half, and I looked at it and I said to myself, old white guy killed Charlie Kirk. So cognitive dissonance, you know. And then I looked at him again, and at the position he was in, he looked like Victor Davis Hanson. I said, "It's a Victor Davis Hanson look-alike," and an old white guy shot. You know, my mind and the event is just rushing. And 6 hours later, I looked back at that and I said, I was played. This is the mind control operation. They put that guy's picture in there first intentionally to mislead us all. Old white guy, Victor Davis Hanson. Of course, he's conservative. So they're trying to make us think from the get-go that some conservative shot Charlie Kirk. But the latest patsy, Robinson.
Tyler Robinson, yeah.
Tyler Robinson, he couldn't have killed Charlie Kirk. That shot came from the right, and now we have videos of a guy on a balcony, let's call it, a flash from a window from the right angle to produce the neck shot exit wound, and someone in the audience. I showed this to Jaffe last night. There's these three, and the fourth possibility is a drone attack, because now we have videos of a drone zipping all at a really high-tech drone. I thought it was right. I thought it was UFO the first time I saw it. Yeah, so it's all a mishmash.
Yeah. What about the exit wound? There's something quite bizarre. Like there's one video shows all this blood I've seen shows all this blood gushing out, whereas others there's like it's totally there's nothing. And then so the guy I guess who ran the autopsy claimed it was a miracle. It was a miracle bullet, a miracle shot, and there was no exit wound. Is that right?
Yeah, he said he Man of Steel and that the bullet was inside. You don't believe that for a moment. You know, miracle shot. Yeah, magic bullet. It's the same bullet. Right. You know, it's a playbook. You know, the NFL has a playbook. All the players patterns, and then they just say, "You 4166." So they have a playbook in assassination. Yeah. There are certain common themes. You know, three guys have to go. If the first two guys miss, the third guy shoots. Right. So they can disguise it. If three shots are heard, you know it's multiple assassins. If two shots are heard, they'll say, oh, that was a shot and an echo. There was only one shot. So this is the playbook, and we're seeing the classic JFK, RFK, MLK assassination playbook, the setting up of the patsy. Do you know how the parallel is so great? They said that he left shells on the roof He took one shot, shells, three shells on the roof. He took one. When Oswald was,
he left the rifle there too.
No, they say he disassembled the right. Here, let me give you.
Actually, I've got a video. It takes. This is. I can, unfortunately, I only posted it up on Teams.
6 seconds.
There's a guy who actually who demonstrated how long it takes to disassemble that rifle, and how the rifle didn't fit in the backpack.
Right.
And if he had tried, and that scene of him fleeing off that roof, if he had tried hiding the rifle in his leg, he would have broken his leg when he jumped off the roof.
Oh, it's ridiculous, man. You were picking up on all the fatuous lies that they're trying to pawn on all of us. But to finish the story, but the parallel with Oswald, so this guy takes one shot, disassembles the rifle with a screwdriver, forgets the screwdriver, jumps off the roof, assembles the rifle now without a screwdriver, right? The whole story is falling apart. But when Oswald was pacified, right, that's my new word for when they make you a patsy. You've been pacified. So when they pacified Lee Harvey Oswald and claimed to find the Mannlicher Carcano on the 6th floor hidden in a corner, they said they found 3 shells perfectly placed alongside each other, right on at the sniper's nest, as they like to call it. So when you do a bolt-action rifle, the shell just jumps out, and they're all over the place. But they wanted to make you think that he laid out 3 bullets, like me laying out 3 lighters, like 1, 2, 3. And the parallel is here with Robinson. They claim they found these 30-06 shells with engraving.
Transgender propaganda.
Yeah, transgender. See, they're trying to pacify the transgender, too. Let's not jump to conclusions. This is a really heavy-duty black operation that, I'll say it plainly, only the Mossad could organize something like
and
that.
Netanyahu came in just a short time prior to the murder, making Kirk an offer he couldn't refuse. He did. And it was huge. We're talking, he upped the stakes, like he upped to the amount that he was already receiving from various Zionist. What would you call them? Just the deep pockets, really,
donors,
that they have.
Zionist donors. Yeah. But the point is, he offered him mega millions of dollars to infuse it into Turning Point USA, but he insisted that he wanted Charlie Kirk to go to Israel on a trip. But Charlie had already gone. And I think Charlie realized that when they give you that trip, it's an MK Ultra vacation trip. And they're massaging your psyche at every juncture. They're trying to say, oh, Judeo-Christianity, Judaism came first, we are all one, happy family, we are your friends. And he realized that kind of mind control had washed away, and he didn't want to subject himself to it again. He knew what goes down. So he said no, and he said that after that, Netanyahu became very ugly, menacing, bullying, and threatening. And he said he walked away from that conversation feeling that his life was in danger. So he expressed it to many people, Tucker Carlson and other people.
Right. Well, Judeo.
The gravel run or across the street or up the sidewalk or whatever.
I think Naroki is talking to someone there, so we'll just see if we can mute him out and not have that background noise bleed in. A quick question for you. You raised a great point. Judeo-Christianity, Robert. Let's on your take on that. Why is it such a fraud?
It's also a contrived term. See, I was born in 1948. And I'm a post-war baby, but I was really awake, in my growing up years. And in those early years, in the 1950s, it was just Judaism and Christianity, and there was antipathy. The Christians said, yeah, Jews killed Christ. That's why they're no good, But then, because of the Cold War and the need to unify our culture against godless communism, the USSR, North Korea and the rest of them, they said, we got to join you. We got to get rid of this division in our society, this religious divide. So let's bring them together. and we'll call it Judeo-Christianity. So in the 1950s, this term popped up, and they started to promote it. And the biggest propaganda piece of all time, and the most successful propaganda piece to infuse the idea of Judeo-Christianity, is the movie The Ten Commandments with Charlton Heston, the Cecil B. DeMille movie. That movie imprinted, that was MK Ultra mind control. And they imprinted the idea embedded the idea in Christian audiences that Moses and Christ were reflections of each other, because Moses, I don't know if you know the movie, I know it by heart.
Right.
He quotes things that Jesus said, and he makes references to Jesus, the Good Shepherd. He uses the staff of a shepherd to free the slaves in Egypt and that. So syncretism is the word. Syncretism. That's what they try to achieve.
That's right. Yeah.
And so it succeeded for a long time, but the actions of Netanyahu betray actions of the devil himself. Both sides. Both sides. You might say that Lucifer is fighting Satan. Lucifer is taking over Israel, and Satan's got Islam. It's as simple as that. Two devils warring against each other.
That's another bit of a head scratcher for myself, and I'm sure many others, the distinction between Lucifer and Satan. But before we get to that, if we're able to, Christian Zionism, why is that also such a, in your mind and the minds of quite a few others, it seems, an oxymoron? Contradiction terms.
You cannot reconcile a religion that believes in God, a personal God, with a religion. Zionism is a political religion. It doesn't believe in God.
Nationalism. Yeah, secular atheism.
Racist, godless, materialistic communism, Marxism. That's what it really is. And now here's something that I found out recently. When I was a kid, I looked at the name National Socialist Party, the Nazi Party, but I always saw that they had ZI. Nazi with a ZI. Why, I used to say, why isn't it NASI, And I found out recently is because in the early days of the National Socialist Party, they didn't have a lot of money. So they got donors, and the donors were Zionists. And the Nazis got together and said, we both have the same idea. We want to get Jews out of Germany. We want to get a place outside Germany where Jews belong. We don't want them in Germany. You don't want them in Germany because you want them in the Jewish state. That's what they used to call it.
Madagascar for a start.
Yeah, the Jewish state. That's what it was called. It wasn't called Israel. But then they decided they couldn't get Madagascar, they couldn't get a piece of Uganda from the British, because they appealed to the British. They had all the power, and they had the land. So they said, how about a piece of Uganda? How Madagascar? But then Rothschild, he wasn't Lord Rothschild. He was. Lord Rothschild infused millions of dollars into World War I. The British were losing it. And he said to them, don't surrender. I'm going to give you all the money you need to fight the Germans. I'm also going to guarantee you that we're going to bring America into the war on your side. In return, I want you to proclaim a Jewish state in Palestine. Yeah. So he paid them off. And you know how he got the United States to go into the war? We didn't have to go into the war. We were split.
Bombing Lusitania?
Well, the Lusitania was the act that. But listen, the Lusitania was carrying armaments for Britain, and the Germans knew it. And the Germans put a warning. Shades of Batar. The Germans put a warning in newspapers in New York not to go on the Lusitania, because the Lusitania was being used to convey armaments. They put a warning in the newspaper. And they sunk it, right? So that was the straw that broke the camel's back. But to get Wilson predisposed to it, they blackmailed him. Rothschild contacted Untermeyer. Samuel Untermeyer was a mega millionaire here in New York. There's even a park named after him. He bought love letters that had been written by President Woodrow Wilson to his mistress when he was the president of Princeton University. So they bribed the woman who had the letters. They took the letters. Untermeyer took the letters and showed them to Wilson and said, if you don't go into the war, we're going to release these letters to the newspapers. And that's why Woodrow Wilson was blackmailed into going into World War I. Because Americans, what need did we have in World War I to go, bouncing around, losing 100,000 men, something like that?
Yeah.
But it's a difference. It was a slaughter.
Yeah. World War II, quite similarly, I guess. I was just listening to an audio presentation last night regarding America's entry into the Second World War and Zionist interest working behind the scenes in the lead up to Pearl Harbor. Actually, and within 90 days, a deal was made to work together to collaborate, collude, or conspire. AI loves this one when you talk about, collude, cooperate, and then conspire to bring, make it happen and bring America into World War II. And then Pearl Harbor came along within 90 days. So
yes. Here's something, a parallel with October 7th. Netanyahu knew the attack was coming 3 days before from Egypt, the State Department and CIA, but a year before from Mossad.
Yeah.
Mossad may even have drawn up the attack plan and given it to Hamas. I mean, that's how deep these guys go.
Yeah.
Hamas is the creation of Netanyahu and his party.
Straw man.
Hamas is the Frankenstein monster to Netanyahu, the Frankenstein.
Well, yeah. Well, you need a straw man. So oh gosh, well
I'm gonna bail out for a moment.
Pardon me?
I'm gonna bail out for a moment.
Okay. Yeah, sure. We got 15 minutes left here. Robert, we will add your Substack contact information. I don't get it quite right when I say it on air, but it is there in the show description end of things as far as the archived content is concerned. Robert Morningstar .com or at Substack, something to that.
Come on, man. Robert Morningstar Substack
.com.
Okay,
there we go.
Substack.com.
That's my pirate dyslexia kicking in again. So yeah.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Not a problem. Naroki 5, the Red Pill Nation Hangout. We've been trying to connect Naroki big time. We'll make it happen here one of these days. We can't be live streaming over each other, though. I'll tell you that much. It just doesn't work. It's not a productive way of doing things at all. So, but then Roger with Drigas Productions, I guess Reincarnation is in the works this week. What else did you have as far as the format and talking points with the show is, what exactly are we looking at there? I think even Sonia might be
Sonia's the co-host. She's the co-host.
Okay.
We both do it together. It's the topic is basically set off of the old episodes of In Search Of. And we're going to be covering topics concerning reincarnation.
Leonard Nimoy. I guess he was the host, wasn't he?
Yep.
And for what? How many years? 3-4 years?
It was for quite a few of them. I don't know exactly how many, but I know.
It was a great series. It was just classic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sonia, what is, and with the show is something mysteries or something along those lines?
It's
or it was In Search Of. Our show.
No, your show.
Cafe
Enigma.
Enigma.
Yes.
See, that's the thing is, and this is, you've rebooted it, haven't you? Because that was a kind of a big deal back. I recall seeing it around quite a lot in the past, and I didn't clue in like what was going on. It was quite. It did catch my attention though. So, who was it? Was it Mark that was the driving force behind the original cafe?
He's the one that started it, and then he's seen how magnificent and beautiful I was. And he
Oh,
said,
yeah.
"This is a beautiful man who shall take on the chalice." And
Oh God. Okay. Yeah. +2 imaginary charisma. Okay.
ask
Roll the dice.
Naroki, he'll tell
Roll the
you.
dice.
He knows.
Yeah. Start up a new
Yeah,
character.
he just oozes with charisma. By the way, I do 4 up, 4 down, and I'm doing a lot of overtime shifts, so it's sort of like I'm not gonna be on a set day for RPN probably through up until the end of November. And then when I do get back to just basically doing 4 days on, 4 days off, I'm still going to have to move it around, although not as much. So yeah, there'll be a little bit more flexibility after November, Jaffe.
That's all you're based out of Edmonton, Alberta, too, in case, for anyone out there who's wondering that would, they maybe like to, you see, one of the things that we do here, and to this point, everything is worked out just fine. But yeah, sometimes people meet up, what do they say, IRL in real life or in the real world, in the meat space, as it were. So that's always excellent and really, I get a big kick out of that, actually, just how we're able to make that happen.
Actually, Roger, V is apparently now in the Chicago area too. So that's you, Henrik, V, and
PSEC, Dave
PSEC.
Kelso.
That's all.
Yeah,
Kelso. It's all in the Chicago area.
Well, I'm south.
If I get my passport, if I get the money together, fly to Chicago just before Gen Con. We have a group trip down to Gen Con in Indianapolis.
They've had a bit of a falling out there, though, as from what I understand. Like Kelso and Henrik, I guess. I don't know. I don't know the details, but apparently they've got some things they have to work out and smooth over. So, we'll see what happens on that front. And V, like I haven't heard or seen from him or seen him.
Oh, he's on my show. V's on my show on a regular basis. He's been moving around quite a bit. Apparently he's in the Illinois area now.
Why is he doing that? Why is he not more stable?
I don't know. I haven't really pressed him on it.
Interesting.
I don't know why he's been doing that. I think he has his reasons, but I haven't really asked him.
Yeah. Okay. Well, he has, I think, done some jail time over the years. I'm not sure how serious the charges were, but also he does, on top of that, fancy himself a man of kind of international intrigue, and I don't know what if he's like Charlie Sheen. Did you hear me talking about Charlie Sheen before we, when we cut the break, aka Charlie Sheen?
No, I jumped in after that.
Well, it's a 2-part, I think, Netflix docuseries, and I never knew about Charlie Sheen's like family life, and because he has 6 kids now, and the fact he's been 8 years sober. All that, remember all the Tiger Blood kind of mania.
Yeah, he had a relapse. That's the reason. It was during that relapse that he ended up having that fallout with 2.5 Men.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, and that's when he had his relapse, and then he came back. Then he got off it. I don't know whether he went back into the 12-step fellowship or whatever. But I think
that's a good point, because I don't know either. I don't know. You could and Chat GPT, see what they're able to come up with as far as his what's their path, for getting his life back. In family was a big thing, I know, because you know how it is with fathers. I don't think you're not a father. I don't think, but I think we all intuitively know the fathers, mothers, family connections, and the hearts. The family loves the guy. And that's the way good parents are, really. But if you're messing up, sometimes you just got to let people go and let them work it out, figure it out for themselves. Hope they don't kill themselves, in the process. School of Hard Knocks, but he thankfully didn't, and he had good friends around him too. If you go back and listen to the way I kind of elaborated and laid things out, spoiler alert for anyone out there that's wanting to check out this 2-part series, aka Charlie Sheen, and then he ends up getting at the height of all this insanity, the hypersexualization that crack consumption, I guess, generates.
Well, it's more crystal meth that will do it. And what crystal meth will do is that once you start something, it's like you literally cannot stop doing it. So if you start having sex when you're under the effect of crystal meth, you will just keep having sex.
Well, he started having gay sex is what the problem I think was with, and then contracting the HIV, because he's hypersexual. He'll like do anything, like and that not
Let's go back to Corey Feldman too. See
that didn't happen. That didn't happen.
I don't know. Yeah, whatever.
I don't buy it. I don't buy it. Corey Feldman is a sociopath narcissist.
Corey Haim is who it happened to.
So he died.
Yeah, he died, and he made point blank accusations that Charlie took advantage of him, and everybody just turned a blind eye.
Well,
he had homosexual sex when he was on crack.
We've all heard that. No, this is later. That was earlier with the Haim business. That was way before.
Yeah, that was way back with Lost Boys. It happened when he was in Lost Boys.
Who knows? But Haim had his own issues clearly.
The Goonies.
Yeah. But Feldman he's a narcissist. He's just shallow, and he's not that talented.
If you wanted to kick everybody out of Hollywood who was narcissistic, man, there wouldn't be hardly anybody left.
Right. I was impressed. I don't know, like Denise Richards, because I don't follow these people in their personal lives at all. But something like this comes out, and I'm curious, and it took me a couple of days after I downloaded it to finally get around to watching it. But Denise Richards, who she co-starred with him in a couple episodes, I guess, of 2.5 Men, and then Brooke Mueller, who she ends up becoming an addict, and a lot of their friends are from that era. I gotta point something out about Denise Richards, because she managed to get through her peak years and kind of like get away with it. Denise Richards is not the sweet, innocent, good girl that the image portrays about her. Bad Boy Charlie.
She actually got real. Before she got really big, like she was apparently she was escorting. She was basically.
So was Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah.
That's welcome to Hollywood. That's welcome to Hollywood. What about these rent boys? Look at Keanu Reeves. You want to talk about get into the muck and mire? Keanu Reeves. Some rumors about how he got his start with the twink pool parties with David Geffen and his boyfriends.
Have you ever seen that a documentary, An Open Secret?
Nope, don't think so.
Yep.
Hey guys, are you aware that Keanu Reeves was born in Lebanon?
That's cool. He's Canadian, Chinese,
he was raised, born in Lebanon, raised in Canada.
I like Keanu. I do.
I do too. I found him a little cold, not like
stoic.
The Buddha role was the best thing he ever did.
Buddha. Yes.
Buddha.
Yes. Right.
But
and he is pretty Buddhist too.
I'm sure he is. Life. Yeah. But I thought that he disappointed me in The Day the Earth Stood Still. He was the not. Reboot. Yeah, the remake. He played Klaatu. And
that was not a particularly good movie.
It was the antithesis of the 1950 movie.
Naroki here has a history in film. He has. Didn't you get a degree in film, Vancouver Film School?
I graduated from Vancouver Film School. Yeah, I was involved in Well, the icing on the cake for me with the film industry was when Sundance decided they were going to give an award to Cuties. You might remember
Oh
Cuties.
God! Oh my
They
God!
gave an award to Cuties, and the only reason that they would do that was basically to fucking own the Republicans. And it's like, I've never seen the movie, and I don't really feel I want to see it. But it's like like, and again, this is not really fair because I can't really. People will go, "Well, you haven't seen the movie, so how do you know?" But it was like, like a lot of the, like, literally there were a lot of people who did see the movie that were YouTube reviewers, and they were
Yeah,
basically like almost
yeah.
to a person, they were all saying like, no, this is softcore child porn.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Right.
I've long had issues with like long before just John Benet Ramsey story came to the fore. That's like the hypersexualization once again of young, mostly young girls, of course. That's the, and then the way that parents are totally, they exploit that. And you got the look at Shirley Temple. Speaking of Hollywood, parents, Hollywood moms and dads and so forth. So Roger, you were going to add something. Then I got to get to the comments here, and we have limited time.
I got one more thing
that
to say
movie.
about John Benet Ramsey,
Okay,
and then
okay,
I'll just
okay.
cut it out. One of the
All right.
last photos of John Benet Ramsey, there's a woman in the background that looks suspiciously like Ghislaine Maxwell, and that's where I'm gonna hang up here. So have a good night, guys.
Yeah. Interesting. Let me see if I can get this back on here real quick. I just don't remember exactly what show I had it on, so yeah. I do not.
They don't check out. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, that was
everybody. Weird. Well, no, it's Naroki's fault because he didn't drop out when people are not. Naroki, he doesn't listen to a lot or clue into a lot of the things that people try to simply explain to him. But drop out of the call. Like this is Jaffe's call, and when we go for the break, just disappear, and then I've got to call you back. It's a new format that they've got.
Yeah, I know.
They've got here. So where's Sonia? Oh,
give her a second.
She already
she'll be back in.
It looks, but I've got to directly call everybody, right? That's the problem.
Oh, wow.
So
yeah,
maybe she is here. I can't see her. Go ahead.
That movie Yvonne was talking about, that's a really good movie to check out. And when it comes to what you guys were talking about with these children in Hollywood, that'll explain a lot of that, because it goes a lot deeper than that. Because, okay, you take a look at these kids, okay, they want them to take photos of themselves so they can put them in magazines. And they found out whenever they were doing the investigation concerning that movie, that these people who were pedophiles were literally shopping for little actors, little young actors in these catalogs. And they were using the magazines to do it.
What's it called? The documentary?
Oh God, I forgot.
Did you say An Open Secret or something?
Open
like
Secret,
that?
yeah, Open Secret.
Is that right?
Yes.
I see.
Okay.
All right. Well, just the four of us. Just the four of us.
I think
Robert, Sonia, Yvonne. Was Yvonne? Actually, you know what? Maybe. See, I had to kick Sonia out and then call her back. That's just one of these little kind of quirks to things. We have 60 minutes. I don't really want to spend that much time, but rather just kind of wrap things up more or less. But Robert, maybe. Actually, Sonia. Who do we have coming up over the course of you're our co-producer and booker. Not careful you don't just imagine what you'd end up becoming if there was an H in front of that word instead of a B.
Okay.
So
I know.
Bookie.
wouldn't want to go there. And I've got some comments I got to get to via the peanut gallery too. But who do we got coming up over the next month as far as featured guests are concerned? Featured guest
We
Friday.
do not have anyone booked for this Friday or the next Friday yet.
Oh,
However, we do have Cliff Rockefeller coming up on the 10th.
What, Paul? Why don't we have There's so many names. Okay, David Paul Carpenter. I'd want to get him on. There's people chomping at the bit.
I've sent them messages, so
All right. Well, he wants to come in and talk about AI. He is he's a maestro, and my cousin is in on this too. My cousin is really, speaking of being in on things, he's really deeply embedded, it seems, in Canada's Liberal Party political machine. So him and I, as you can imagine, while we're still blood, that it can often a little bit of abrasiveness there when it comes to differing views regarding the way that the country is being completely mismanaged. And peace, order, and good government was what Canada was, the founding principles as compared to America's life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, or what some would say. I don't know why I've heard the pursuit of private property. That's all fine and dandy.
That's what it originally was. That's what the Constitution guarantees us.
I see. Okay, so, but peace, order, and good government. Well, I get peace, order, fine. Good government. I mean, do we have peace? I mean, we got how many criminal gangs now have been just flooding in to the country? How many foreigners from around the world have been exploiting loopholes and just the loose enforcement of the way they're able to take advantage of this substandard approach to government. It's accountability and the lack thereof. That's really what we're looking at. So I'm not sure. Maybe it's Sonia now is typing away on her keyboards there. So, but that's a bit of an issue, definitely. But he's an AI guy as well, is the point I was trying to make there, the cousin. And Paul David Carpenter, though, and there's a whole list of people here. I've got to go back in. I've left it in your hands. I see that it's maybe a little too much for you to handle, perhaps, at this point in time. And it was a lot for me. I did it for so many years, and now we're working together, essentially. So just let me know, Sonia, if you'd like me to maybe do a little more on this.
Yeah, sure. I mean, whatever you can do. I just don't want to double email people. There's some emails out there. We just haven't heard back yet.
He accidentally sent me an email.
What are you talking about?
Yes, you did. I keep mentioning it, and you sent me an email that you were sending people for coming to your show, and you forwarded it and put my email on it. And I was like, oh man! And I told
yes. We added your email contact information.
It was in a forward because you send them off and you forwarded it, and it went to me, and I'm like, what the heck? It's not supposed to be coming to me because I knew what it was.
I don't know, man. It's like we're just trying to. We don't usually do that through email. Promote the show as the fact that we're going live at.
No, it was literally
time.
Something that you were sending somebody, asking them to come onto your show or.
Oh well, maybe I thought it. Now you have. If you don't remember who this was, you might want to go back and check, because either it was an accident, as you say, or I did it intentionally because I thought, there's a tie-in here. I think Roger might be interested in this. That's the only two scenarios really that I could see having occurred, right? Either an accident or I did it intentionally because I thought you might appreciate it.
Well, so, I mean, I would appreciate it.
Yeah, Roger. Yeah.
I think you'd appreciate any attention or contact from the outside world you could.
No, as long as it's like motivating and it's like a hot chick.
Oh, so what does that? I mean, you want me to put on change my clothes or something? Like
if you want to, you can.
Start going through the wife's wardrobe here, and
I'd like to see that.
That's just Look, that whole thing, it disgusted me. I've seen these jocks, jocks. I've seen like rugby teams. My brother-in-law and his rugby team, for example, and it's like doing shit like that. That. And by the way, that's one word. I'm not sure if you still can't say that on television. And just Robert, plug your ears. This is our pirate ship. So, but the 7 words you can't say on television: shit, piss, fuck, cunt, motherfucker, cocksucker, and tits. Right? So, and tits. What's up with tits? It's like a bag of potato chips. It's like, give me some tits. Can you pass the tits? Look, are we going to have some tits tonight? Tits tomorrow. So
that's tits.
Yeah. And shit is a pretty lightweight term too. It's just like, it's another way of saying damn, obviously. And these days people, I try to keep my language, relatively. Now I've totally gotten straight off into the weeds here now, not focusing on
you
the
did
original
good.
point.
You did good.
No.
That was fantastic.
Well, Kiki Friedman, he'd say, don't say fuck in front of the CHILDREN.
He had a point. Good old kinky. Yeah, you and your kinky. I wonder how kinky you bring in. Is this something subliminal or subconscious? Oh dear God. So, but yeah, Sense and Sensibility. He's one of your cowboy poet heroes, I guess. So, hey, I've been listening to a little more Townes Van Zandt and Graham Parsons as of late. The Flying Burrito Brothers. People rave about the outfit and Emmylou Harris. Never been a huge fan of hers. Just kind of thought like, Linda Ronstadt. I don't know. She never was a songwriter, Linda, but hell of a singer and performer with great stage presence. And actually, one of the guys I grew up with playing hockey. He was on we're teammates for a number of years as kids. His mother grew up with Linda in, it wasn't Phoenix. What the hell? What's that? There's another
Tucson.
Yeah, Tucson. That's right. There you go. So anyways, and then,
Linda Ronstadt, she came out with Blue Bio, didn't she?
I guess a cover of didn't Roy Orbison do that originally?
I mean, she sang it, is all I'm saying. Like,
she did a lot of great stuff. She was dating Jerry Moonbeam Brown, the governor of California at the time, right? Back in the day. And she had a great career, great life, and she's kind of pretty much out of the public eye at present, suffering with, trying to do her best and getting by, dealing with Parkinson's.
Mm-hmm.
Michael J. Fox, Muhammad Ali's now, he's been freed of his, the rusty cage, liberated. So, but Michael J. Fox, I mean, a lot of these people, don't they manage their symptoms with weed? And when I say that, I don't mean the stuff that gets you high necessarily either. It's just that there's something in the chemical compound, the natural chemical compounds, either via THC or CBD. And it's ideal, of course, if it doesn't get you high, but it still provides the same medical benefits. So, but I've seen people, maybe some of our listeners have as well, and a few of you here in the part of the crew. Tremors, shaking.
Yeah.
Hey,
help Michael J. Fox. I met him twice.
Oh, that's right.
He married a girl. 2 blocks who lived in West End Avenue. 2 blocks.
That's good that he didn't marry a boy. Thank God.
Let's say he married a pretty girl. And I met him in Riverside Park. He saw me playing double disc frisbee and stopped one time. And I invited him to play, and he said, "Oh no, I'm not as good as you are." I said, "Come on, I'll teach you." And then the second time, I was standing at a corner waiting for the light, West End Avenue, and somebody's next to me, and I saw somebody just lean forward like this, leaned forward and looked at me and said hi. And I said, very sad. I think that malady that he's suffering is from cocaine. This is what happens. Cocaine destroys people's brains.
You think that, and that it helped to, it triggered what later became this Parkinson's?
Yes, I think so. Exactly. it will exacerbate
Well,
anything.
with-
You know, I love telling people. I warn people for decades. I saw so many young people, just beautiful people, friends of mine, destroyed by cocaine. And I love to tell people how it kills your brain. The first thing it does, it dissolves the corpus callosum from long years of snorting. It goes up to the nasal septum. It causes nosebleeds. That tells you, how caustic it is.
Yeah.
Then when it gets through the brain pan, it starts to act on the corpus callosum. The corpus callosum is a bridge of cells in the center of your brain, which is the nexus for the right brain and the left brain to coordinate. Once that thing is eaten away, what you get is Dr. Strangelove. The Dr. Strangelove symptom where one part hated him and one part is trying to kill him and then he's trying to be rational. That's what happens with cocaine. I want to tell you now, I saw how cocaine is made once. I saw a BBC special. They went to Colombia, went to the narco traffickers and said, how do you make cocaine? So they go and gather all the leaves. They pluck them off these bushes, right? Then they take tons of these leaves and they stick them in a black garbage bag and really, really stuff it, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Then they take rock salt and they throw it into the bag with the coca leaves and they seal it and they throw it on the ground and that starts to move. It starts to move as if there's a body inside. It's the creepiest thing you ever saw. It looks like there's a body inside going like this.
Really?
Oh yeah, undulating for hours, and they wait till it settles down. So then when it settles down, it stops moving. Then they take it, they pour the coca leaves with the rock salt into a gasoline container. Then they pour gasoline into it and they stir it. And then they leave the gasoline, the rock salt, and the coca leaves in there for a day. Then they come and they take it and they filter out all of the coca leaves, so they get them out. Then they take the gasoline that has the essence of the coca leaf and the rock salt, and then they strain it with baking soda.
Yeah.
So they mix it with baking soda, then they strain it. That's the white stuff that goes up your nose. Baking soda, rock salt, gasoline, and coca leaf extract.
Nail polish remover as well, is what I heard.
They should put, yeah. Well, then, I'm telling you, if you know that, it's just...
How stupid are people? Yeah, I guess pretty dumb, obviously.
Yeah.
So.
And I saw psychosis, really good friends of mine. I never touched it.
Yeah.
And stay away. Like, smoke all the pot you want, but don't do cocaine. And I saw my friends go mad.
I don't know, man. The way you described that bag moving, you might have been a little too close to the freaking fire, man. I mean,
creepiest thing.
Just saying, dude. It's got a little too close to the fire, and that bag started crawling at you.
That'd be a great horror movie. Have some monsters. They go through this process, and a coca monster jumps out at you. The irony to things, though, too. Speaking of coca, is that the leaves are through the Andes for thousands of years. You take and chew on the leaves, and it just provides like a mild sort of caffeine buzz. That's it, because it hasn't gone through all this.
It dissolves your teeth.
No kidding.
It's caustic, as I said.
The coca. So the
Cocaine and
leaves
bubble
themselves.
gum. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, Yvonne, you're right. You know that I felt that it was demonic. It was like a demon in the bag getting into the stuff, through the...
Yeah. Oh my
gosh.
gosh.
I was just thinking that. It's like a demon.
Yeah.
Demon.
Holy.
Are you psychic? I was just going to say that.
He is.
It's like a demon.
Well, no, he kind of is.
I was the one who said that stuff.
Trained from childhood.
Cocaine's not like it used to be either. The formula has definitely changed.
There are a lot of pollutants and toxic shit. You don't know what's going in there. So it's horrible to see. Michael J. Fox, we all liked him. We were so fond of him. The Back to the Future movies, they're unforgettable. And then to see him, destroyed like that.
Bright Lights, Big City. You remember? Anyone see Bright Lights, Big City? Him and Kiefer Sutherland. Bit of a little indication of what little like art, reflecting life. and
Yeah.
perhaps so that could have been a period of time.
Can I ask a question?
Can I tell you a funny story?
Hang on, let Robert finish, and then over to Harpo. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to ask a question. Have any of you guys seen Justin Bieber recently?
Nope.
Nope.
Yeah, because remember he had paralysis. He had paralysis.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, but then P Diddy, he's a P Diddy, and he's gone really kind of low key out of the public eye. But him and his wife, you're talking about this paralysis. And then his wife gets a stroke a short time after he comes down with that palsy. What's it called?
Yeah, it was the vaccine. It was
the palsy.
Bell's palsy.
But according to the official story, of course, YouTube and ChatGPT and the official narrative is like, oh, well, that's just speculative science. Can't really prove that. It's just, it's a coincidence. So it's like, oh God,
small constellation.
And the young healthy woman has a stroke, and his wife, and it's like, well, that's just another, yeah. So sudden adult death syndrome, folks. Like, let's not be fooled. So,
Yvonne had a question or a comment.
Yvonne.
Yeah, it was just a joke. It was a funny story. So Kinky Friedman's in a bar in New York City, and he's sitting there, and this man comes up to him and starts talking to him. They're chatting for like an hour and shooting the shit, drinking tequila. Then they go to the bathroom and they're doing lines of coke. And then Kinky's like, sorry to bother you, but what's your name? He goes, oh, I'm Eric Clapton.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's a joke?
Well, it's just a funny story.
It's something that really happened, apparently. Is that right?
Yeah. He's like, what's your name? I'm sorry, but what's your name? He goes, I'm Eric Clapton.
Holy shit, eh? So that's that back in the day, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
How about that? Yeah. Well, oh man. Oh, there was some more. Oh, bloody hell.
Kinky Friedman and the Texas Jew Boys.
You can tell. Yeah. There was bloody AI, I tell you, man. And the number of YouTube channels that I just have been sometimes like reporting because fake news, scam, spam, like this is nonsense. Like so-and-so celebrity died today. And like, what is this channel even doing here? They allow this crap?
Weird stuff.
It's like, what? And then we're the ones getting punished? Like, what is this platform actually here for? Really?
Clickbait.
Well, yeah. All right. Well, look, I think that's about, did we cover all the talking points? We did a great job, show segment, 333. What's the significance of that? You're the probably chief numerologist here. Watch the online, on air, on mic belching there, Yvonne. Have to, there we go. So
just remember 3 + 4 = 7.
Well, we got that down.
You're going to ask about 333?
Well, and then September. Let's September 23rd.
That's very.
I know what that's about. I finally learned what 333 is about.
Okay.
It's about 333 BC, when the Athenian aristocracy or intelligentsia took over the country and started ruling, and that's the 333. Significance of Skull and Bones, that they consider themselves to be like those Athenians, higher education, elite, aristocratic, and that's what that's their
322.
That's their starting point.
Yeah, I think it's 322, but I don't know the three. So
332. Well, yeah, 332.
322. Yeah, 322.
322 BC. You're right.
Yeah. So I thought it might have something with Alexander the Great for a while, but then
it's around that time.
But something else that's been talked about is Skull and Bones is allegedly, so the story goes, don't know if it's true or not, the 332nd Lodge of the Illuminati, of the Bavarian Illuminati that they've established around the world out of Yale, which is in what state is that up there?
Connecticut.
What's the capital? The main
New Haven, Connecticut.
There you go. That's right. New Haven, Connecticut. The Doors played. There was a famous gig. Wasn't that the Doors where they had that one wild gig where things really went sideways? Speaking of which, I'm glad I brought that up. Finally, yes, I know I wanted to talk about the Doors briefly here. Good old, longtime fan of the Lizard King. What a wild man he was. So, but and he died. I guess the truth of the matter, I've long heard. Well, it took me a while to finally get to the bottom of things, but there's a link that I shared here via the WPRPN team's chat group dealing with his passing and how he OD'd, I guess, on heroin. He was testing Pamela, his significant. Is it okay to refer to as paramour, Robert? I mean,
I like that. That's what it means.
Old lady, his old lady. I think Jim would be okay with old lady.
I like paramour. I like old lady. That was a nice.
Yeah.
But they weren't old.
Yeah. But yeah, because she was the one who was into the smack. Oh my God! And you know who figures into the story? Who a lot of people don't know about, and just died recently. Marianne Faithfull. She was there. She knew what the hell was going on, but she didn't say a damn thing through the years. Like she knew. And Jim it was just this bad batch of. It was really pure, actually. I guess is what it was. Pure coke. He'd been sick for a while too, right? And he'd fallen. A lot of people don't know that. I guess he'd fallen 2 stories just like a month or so before going to Paris out of a hotel room window.
Are you talking about Jim Morrison?
Yeah. And
I never heard about the fall.
Oh no, a lot of people haven't, but that's apparently the deal, and that's why he might have done some internal damage, and so he was like coughing up blood, and he never went to, I don't think he ever went to a hospital for anything, and probably should have. And then he had, and was drinking and smoking, trying to clean up and get it together. And, we talked about Charlie Sheen earlier. So, I mean, there's countless stories of addicts. And, this pure coke out of North Africa, I think was the connection, maybe Morocco, or so the way the smuggling routes and the French connection, as it were. Can
I piggyback that?
Rock and Roll Circus. There was a club, I guess, Mick Jagger and the Stones.
Jaffe?
Check out the YouTube documentary link. Go ahead, Yvonne. The floor is yours.
Well, back then, the CIA would take heroin and even cocaine, and every once in a while they'd take a baggie or whatever and make them extremely potent, allegedly.
Oh, wow. No kidding.
And so basically they would call some drug users. And that could have happened to someone like Janis Joplin or Jim Morrison or others.
Yeah.
Just that they got the wrong bag.
Didn't know that. Never heard of that. Yeah. That's something.
And in addition, I think you alleged to it before, where Charlie Manson was probably employed by the CIA.
Yeah,
the FBI wouldn't
chaos.
Touch him.
They were feeding them the
and that with Manson, just that they wouldn't touch him. They just left him alone.
Tom O'Neill.
And somehow the government wanted, because there's so many hippies were against the Vietnam War, the government wanted to put down hippies, make them look horrible and violent, and discredit them.
That's right.
Because the opinion about the war was changing against the war. And so, the government thought, well, if they could make hippies look bad through people like Manson, and that Manson's just a typical hippie bullshit. Anyways.
COINTELPRO.
I thought of myself as a hippie in 67, 68. I grew my hair really long, tied it in braids and whatnot. And then I realized, my God, this guy's just destroyed this whole feeling, because hippiness was a feeling of love and happiness and joy.
Yeah.
Excuse me?
I'm still a hippie.
Yeah, I think essentially we remained our.
I was too young to be a hippie.
Robert went to Woodstock. We got a Woodstock baby here.
You want to hear? Now I'm going to tell you a funny story. I was at Woodstock, and the first act at Woodstock was Richie Havens, then Sly and the Family Stone, and a couple of others. And I saw the storm coming, so I left at 2:00 in the morning. I said to my brother, "Hey, Rudy, look at this." Arlo Guthrie came on and said, "Hey, folks, they've closed the New York State Thruway."
Yeah.
And I said, "Holy shit!" So we had only money. We didn't have food. We didn't have water. We thought we'd be able to buy stuff, and then we saw lines for the concessions that were a mile long on the first night. I said, "Rudy, let's get the hell out of here. Let's get back to the city." So we walked like 2.5 miles to where he had left the car, and got in the Firebird and buzzed home. And fortunately, I turned the corner. There was a beautiful parking spot there. I parked the car. Then I turned on the TV, and the storm had come down and washed it out. But Richie Havens was the first act, right? So years later, I'm at a New York Health Expo, and there's going to be a thing on the JFK assassination, a whole bunch of other things. It's a real, like a state fair inside a building in New York City. So the door opens, and I see this tall black man, and I walk up to him and I said, "Richie Havens, man, I was at Woodstock. You know, I remember you were the first act." And he says to me, "I'm Dick Gregory." And Dick Gregory and I became friends after that. He treated me like a heckler. I went to one of the he was really the first guy that released the Dr. Zapruder film, thinking it was real. But I had some fun being in the audience as he was going into his talk. And it was about the upcoming oil war. So he brought out a cover of Newsweek that showed paratroopers. And he said, "Can anybody read that?" And I could read it. And I read it. And he went, "What? You can read that?" And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "Whoa." So he goes like this, ruffles through the pages. He goes to the page where the main article was, and it's really small type. And he goes, "Can you read that?" I said, "No." And the whole audience cracked up. Yeah. That's another, Jeffy, you're right. I should write a book. My Brushes with Greatness. That's what I like to call it. I told you about the Muhammad Ali thing and Michael J. Fox. So. People walk out of the screen onto my street.
Charlton Heston.
I met Charlton Heston.
That's right.
And
I
like to say, shake the hand of Moses. When I meet actors. That's right.
Now, and capping it all off. Now you've met the pirates down here in Skullport Harbor.
Yep. Yeah, I know.
Hey, check this one out. See if I can. How much of if this even comes through the audio? Can you hear that, Yvonne?
Audio of what? Your voice or something else?
Can you hear the guitar?
Nope.
No.
Nobody can hear the guitar. You can only hear my voice. So coming in from London over the pole, flying on a jet airliner.
Oh, get that guitar.
Chicken flying everywhere around the plane. Could we ever feel much finer? Coming into Los Angeles, bringing in a couple of keys. Yeah. Don't touch my bags if you please, Mr. Customs Man.
Yeah.
Man with a ticket to Mexico. No, he couldn't look much stranger. Walking in the hall with his things and dolls. Smiled and said he was alone. Ranger coming into Los Angeles. Bringing in a couple of keys. Don't touch my bags, please, Mr. Customs Man. Whoa, 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 whoa. Can you hear the guitar?
I could hear it a little bit. It was like low, but I could barely hear it.
Hey, have you ever seen the movie Stop the Rain? It's about a heroin job. This guy, Nick. What was his name?
Nick Nolte.
Nick Nolte's first movie, that's unbelievable. Who Will Stop the Rain?
Oh, okay. All right.
What an amazing film that was.
Where Nick Nolte's got to be, he's probably early 80s now.
I don't know. Is he still alive?
I think he is. Unless the COVID kill shots got him. So, no. But anyways, folks, something that's got us is the fact that we've been, doing a pretty good job here of holding and patching this one together. Show segment 333 of World Pirate Radio News. Let's do a quick round the horn deal. Hopefully we'll be back this Friday with a show of some kind, feature show. If you're not, you'll be able to hear from us again here shortly. More help via our listeners, of course, so we'd be a lot more capable and, able and inclined in, and feeling a sense of obligation and responsibility to produce top-notch quality, routine, consistent content, more so than what we're doing now. Let's before we do the round horn deal, let's give shout out here, mention, acknowledgement to Zane Ivey, of course, David Wilkes, out of Seoul, Korea. Always good to have him on board. Former, he was like
he played flute at my wedding.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah. He's a capable, very capable actor, stage performer.
Oh yeah, he played Navajo flute and Pueblo flute.
He's very good. Yes, that's part of his cultural heritage too, I believe. Yeah, amazing. So he's I think he's like Irish.
Is he Canadian also?
He's American. Former special forces.
Intelligence, apparently, but don't tell anybody.
Don't you? Are you? You should be. You're probably friends by now on Facebook.
On Facebook,
you talk to him. You might hit it off. So, don't hold me accountable if things kind of go off into the ditch or not to work out the way. That's the thing. General disclaimer, right? No third party, just liability. Stuff. Bound. Similar to the way we do the. We actually have the Operation Secret Santa coming up here in December 15th. Let's not forget about it. Get prepared now. It's just a couple months on down the road. Get thinking, how can we contribute to making this? It's not Jaffe's Christmas campaign. It's the world's Christmas campaign, generating. Because there's long been this war on Christmas, long been a war on our consciousness, obviously.
Oh, man. How about Joan Benet Ramsey? The whole purpose, she was a human sacrifice to kill the spirit of the Christmas child. It's so obvious. There was a full moon that night. There was a full moon on that Christmas. God. And those, you know something? The sheriff of Boulder was there at the party the night before. It's a really weird story, man. The Santa Claus.
Oh, wow.
But that was a Masonic murder to sacrifice Joan Benet Ramsey to kill the spirit of the Christmas child. Because for years and after that, you couldn't come to Christmas without remembering Joan Benet Ramsey's terrible murder. So as part of the psychological operation was to kill the spirit of Christmas, the innocence and the beauty of the Christmas, the Christ child. That's as clear as
I didn't know that, the timing, but as they say in politics, and I guess from the sounds of things now, Freemasonry, not a religion, by the way, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Yeah, timing is everything. Zane Ivey saying, actually Rabbinic Judaism developed in late antiquity during the 3rd to 6th centuries CE, later than Christianity. So I guess that's going back to the Judeo-Christian remark. In addition to Judeo-Christian, there's also Chrislam. Chrislam, I guess because in part Christ is regarded, you're supposed to, essentially, is from generally what I understand, that as a practicing Muslim, hold Christ in high regard, not as a god, but as a prophet. So 1934, well, let's go back to these mentioned 1934. 1933, Robert earlier was mentioning the collaboration between the Zionists, political they wanted their own separate Jewish Ashkenazi
that too.
Ashkenazi.
Hey, you want to hear something
Let's
else?
put the Nazi
National
back
space.
in the Ashkenazi.
To this,
Yeah,
listen,
I got banned
listen.
from social
I've read
media.
the Dead Sea Scrolls, and the teacher of righteousness of the Essenes was called a Nazi, N-A-Z-I. And some people think it meant Nazarene, Nazi. But this is amazing that the union of the National Socialists with the Zionists gave them funding and gave them another group of support for their agenda to get Jews to Palestine, to create Israel. And you see how we went from 1917 and blackmailing Woodrow Wilson to 1942 and wanting to get the U.S. again into the war in Europe again to promote that agenda, the Zionist agenda.
Yep.
It's such a big.
Well, and the double-headed Nazi. Have you seen the double-headed coin with the swastika on one side and the Star of David on the other?
Absolutely.
And here's another thing, but we're not supposed to know about this, of course, right? Nobody's supposed to know or think about it. And God forbid mainstream media ever, mention these things. Also, the 6 million, there's actually a Holocaust before World War II. The world Zionism, I guess, Jewry, as some accounts as they would refer to it.
Armenian.
They're like, oy vey, 6 million. The original.
It's a magic number.
Tongue of Christ, what he spoke, Aramaic, but the magical 6 million number. Yeah, that's right. But this isn't World War I. They totally wiped that off of YouTube. You can't find it unless you go to archive.org. This reference to the World War I and I think it was the lead up to World War I. They bought newspaper ads talking about, there's going to be a liquidation of Europe's Jews, 6 million. So, and then 1933. So it's like predictive programming and self-fulfilling prophecy. Basically, they had their battle plan. It was putting all the chess pieces in place to what they had that they were wanting to pursue and see come to fruition. That psychotic. So, but anyways,
Can I chime in for a second?
Of course, yeah.
Well, also the Talmud. There's a section there where it talks about 6 million being the perfect sacrifice.
Shoah, burnt offering.
And in reality, if you look at history, they're saying probably it was more like 5.1 million Jewish people were slaughtered around World War II.
Yeah, it's less than that. It's not even that much.
I think it's true, 5.1 million. But the 6 million was from the Talmud.
Oh yeah.
And so it's kind of like a sacred number.
Yeah.
Do
you know? And how many non-Jewish people died during World War II?
Well, probably 6 or 7 million.
Oh, I think a lot more than that, Yvonne. Like 10 to 12
Russia lost
times.
25 million people.
I'm talking about people mentally challenged, mentally handicapped, schizophrenics, gays,
civilians,
communists,
soldiers,
Roma,
civilians.
25 million.
Also, there are other Holocausts as well. I mean, there were Armenians that were slaughtered by the Turkish, about 5 or 6 million.
That was another Rothschild
Ukrainians
enterprise.
Were slaughtered in the 30s, starved to death by Stalin. About 9 million people.
Holodomor or something they call it.
Holodomor.
Balkanism.
And then also in the Congo, under the Belgian king,
Leopold,
probably about 12 million were slaughtered.
Yeah.
The turn of the 19th, 20th century around there.
Look at the Balkanism too. It was all of them. After Austro-Hungary fell, I mean, they were literally just taking each other out and left and right.
Balkanization.
Balkanization.
Yeah.
And
vulcanization. Sorry.
That too. Yeah. The
in Korea, the B and the V are similar.
Yeah.
Vulcanization.
Yeah.
A lot of Westerners don't know. You're talking about Korea, the Biep and then English V, the way we have to teach them to properly pronounce. Yeah.
last point.
One country though everybody overlooks, and that's Serbia. Serbia is.
Oh my God.
Serbia is the direct reason for World War I starting, and then freaking the stuff they pulled with Serbia, where they were doing the genocides back in the 90s.
They're doing it, and guess what? According to Redacted, they're gearing up to do it again.
Mm-hmm.
Well, World War One, it was planned more by the British back around the turn of the century, and probably what caused it more was that the Germans wanted to get oil from Iraq, that area, and the British were not letting them. And so the shot fired, that's just kind of like it's like, okay, let's start it now, I guess,
Right.
It was inevitable, basically.
I see.
World War I started because of the assassination of that Franco guy over in...
That's what started it.
Archduke Ferdinand.
Francis for a betting man. It would have started like any time.
Tinderbox. They needed something like a spark.
Exactly.
Oh, just a justification.
And it had more to do with oil in Iraq than anything else.
That's a great point.
By the way, my father was Serbo-Croatian.
World War II veteran as well, correct? Served in the Navy.
Yeah, he was born in 1907, and then he became a merchant marine. Then joined the Army Navy.
And you followed up in a similar sort of path, basically.
Yes, I did. Followed, a love for the sea, maritime interests, psychology. My mother always said he was a psychologist, because the captain of the ship has to be a psychologist. That's,
what was your rank, by the way? Because you had a pretty you were part of a few operations out on the high sea, the East Coast there at some point.
I was in a paramilitary organization as part of the Department of Homeland Security, but I'm not allowed to tell the name publicly, but I was a commander.
You'll have to kill us if you did.
No, I don't kill anybody.
Jeez.
That's my rank.
Yeah, coming. Yeah.
And coxswain.
Couldn't tell you even if you did kill anybody.
So let me just finish by saying this, kind of bringing it back full circle and hopefully tying it all together with the double-headed, swastika Star of David, and how long they've been collaborating, even to this day, that the 1933 transfer agreement, that and the fact that was instrumental. Look into that. I'll say it one more time. It's the Havara 1933 transfer agreement. Got to know our history, folks. I don't know a lot of it, but I do know enough to realize that was instrumental, very significant, pivotal, and something that, once again, a lot of the Mockingbird media does not want us to think about. In addition to that, 150,000, upwards as many as 200,000 Jews fought for the Nazis in World War II. They wore Nazi uniforms and fought in support of Hitler's war machine. How many listeners are aware of that? So, and where are they now?
Yeah, I had a guy work with at Sejong University. He lived upstairs from me. He was Jewish from Hungary, and as he said, his father was high-ranking Nazi in Budapest.
Oh, so there you go.
Yeah,
I guess the ends
Jewish.
justify.
It kind of blew my mind. I'm like, what?
It's like good. Well, because we've been so dumbed down and indoctrinated.
But I mean, the secular Jew. Oh. Like they didn't know he was Jewish.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. They killed most of the religious ones. If you don't want to go, and you didn't want to go to Israel, well, fine, go to the camps. So, but you don't want to support political Zionism? Fine, go to the camps. So let me just finish off the talking points here, and then we'll do a quick round the horn to once again, because time is running short here. I didn't plan on doing an extra hour. This is your value added content, folks, in case you haven't already got enough from us this week. But 1934, the Jewish Autonomous Oblast region for Eastern Russia was established as a home for the Jews. 1934, Jewish Autonomous Region, that's JAR. Oblast in Eastern Russia established as home for the Jews. Interesting. The Pope said coca leaf is okay though. Well, just I guess don't overdo it, right? So, it'd be interesting if you brush your teeth after, see how that goes. But and
You
mix
don't.
it, make a drink or something. Actually, well, Coca-Cola, right? Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola. Let me finish. I'll say this. I know I'm coming across as a little manic or what have you, but somebody's going to keep the stream of consciousness.
Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
Toothpaste.
Did you know this, Zane, Yvonne, that here in South Korea, as compared to the States, they have only they have a part of what they add to their chemicals. It's cancer causing. It's a carcinogen. Here in South Korea, that cancer causing ingredient, nearly 30 times as much. 25 apparently is what it, more or less information I came across back in the day. Coca-Cola doesn't really advertise that, though. They don't really tell too many people. Most Koreans have no idea. And on top of that, I asked them, or they asked me, like, geez, teacher, why do you think there's so much of this? Why so much more cancer causing ingredient in Korean Coca-Cola? And I just look at them like as if they didn't already have their stare wasn't blank enough already, that I kind of return, like shaking my head, like, you don't get it, do you? It's like they're trying to kill you. Hello, like they want you dead. It's not that complicated. So, I like YouTube's channel Signal Before Silence, says Zane. The Signal Before Silence. Not sure if anyone else out there has heard about it, but check it out. He's given us his support and recommendation. Use of AI to investigate things. Maybe he's being facetious. Oh gosh, we got I don't. Okay. The last thing I'm going to do here, bring it up, guys. Do a roundtable while we're going about just doing a screen share here of what, because you put so much hard work into it, and we always do appreciate your support, of course, folks. That the really looking great there, Sonia. What you've got over via the merchandising end of things, and courtesy of Wprpn.com. Swab the deck in style. Get your pirate merch. That's like top notch. That's great. So just click on. You got t-shirts. You got your steady as she goes, like Thieves in the Night.
That's a song, isn't it?
Right. It's like Thieves in the Night.
No, steady as she goes. Isn't that a song?
I don't know. Could be, maybe. So yeah, but there we go. Yeah, who's done? Who, I don't know. Who recorded it? Who made it famous?
There she blows.
You, Jeffy.
Well, it is a great song title. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, Robert, one more time. Robert Morningstar at Substack.com. I think I've got it. Either
dot Substack.
That's Robert Morningstar.substack.com.
Yeah.
Either way, it's there it'll be there in the archived and things. People just click on the link.
I added a program I did with a Norwegian outlet that has 44 stations or channels to Europe on 3i Atlas. So it's in the chat there. John Brandenburg and I analyzed, gave our opinions on the nature of 3i Atlas. And just now I'm about to watch Professor Avi Loeb. He says that they've detected 9 other objects moving with it.
Oh my God. Let's break that down for us. Let's hear a little more of the lowdown. What do we see taking place there? How soon can we expect these objects to reach Earth's atmosphere?
No, they're going to be on the other side. You see, this is a weird one. It's taking a path that's going to fly by Mars, and then it's going to go behind the sun, and then it's going to come around the sun and fly by Venus. It's going to kind of stay away from us. If you think it's, as I said, think of the ring around the sun. The sun is going to be between us and this, I just going to call it Atlas. The name is too long. But the I in 3i means intergalactic. So these are new objects that have come into this solar system for the first time. So Oumuamua is called one Oumuamua. 2, Borisov. Borisov is the second object that came and was discovered by a Russian scientist named Borisov, so they call it. And this one is Atlas. And I don't know, I've been trying to find out why they named it Atlas.
Right. What are the implications?
3i Atlas.
Triple I, 333.
Yeah.
What are the
third eye.
Sure. Question.
Atlas
question.
is the Titan who was condemned to hold up the sky. They usually show him with a globe on his back, and people think he holds up the earth. He holds up the sky. So it's really kind of an awesome concept.
Sure.
Of a primordial force that
So
keeps the firmament up there.
What then, Robert, do you foresee? What are the potential implications? And finally, how soon can we expect this to be impacting us and our immediate vicinity?
This October 30th and December it's going to go behind. But the closest point for visuals, it's not going to be easy because it's on the other side of the ecliptic. You know, we're in a ring like this. We will be opposites, so it's going to be hard to see it. But the one that's really unusual is the biggest comet of my lifetime is coming in. It's called Swan, Comet Swan, and it's going to be in our skies peaking on October 20th, 19th and 20th, and my birthday is the 18th, so it's going to be there. And when I was born, there was a comet, and I remember seeing it as an infant in my grandfather's arm. A month after I was born, it came around again.
You remember seeing it?
Yeah, man. I woke up in the womb. I remember being in the crib, thinking everything was me until my finite ending was my skin. I remember my eyes coming into focus. I remember everything since my conception.
That's quite something. So I'm not sure it's a rare.
Well, the conception part was later in my life. I asked to be hypnotically regressed by an expert British hypnotist. I asked to be regressed to my own conception. And I remembered being a sperm cell looking for the egg and homing in on heat. Because if I went one way, my conception was when I broke into the egg.
Is that love
I
making?
broke into the egg, and when I was in the egg, I became secure, and I rested, and I felt my spine develop first, and it was like volcanic. This lava. It was like lava.
Oh my God, dude.
My spine, and then my nervous system started to extend, and I saw my development. But I woke up in the womb. You know, the recovery of the conception memory came through hypnosis when I was about 32, 33. But I woke up in the womb because I was awakened by music. I was also a late-term baby. I was about 2.5 weeks late, so I was overdeveloped. I was overdeveloped, and I was very happy in there. And I remember all those things.
Isn't it amazing?
With a special memory, and I use it.
It's amazing. And the way most men too, it's like, what is it? You're a little overdeveloped. They spend on average 9 months trying to get out of that particular area of a woman's anatomy. The rest of their lives trying to get back in.
St. Thomas Aquinas said that. Or not, St. Augustine. St. Augustine said that.
So did St. Jaffe just now. So
St. Jaffe just
you can add that to the list. Yeah. Anyways, okay. All kidding aside, Robert, so thank you so much once again. Yes, indeed. And when your show, the Morning Star Report, it's Saturday or Sundays and Mondays, of course.
Sundays at 3. Sundays at 3 on Studio A, revolution.radio. Very simple, nothing else. Revolution.radio. Studio A on Sundays at 3 and Studio B on Mondays at 10 p.m. Eastern.
RBN Network. That's right. Yeah. Yvonne, yeah, our pleasure. Our harpo.ca, Yvonne, correct? First 30 minutes are free, as always. Oh, you got to unmute yourself there, Yvonne. Such a bad boy. He's a very mal-enfant. Unmute yourself. Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, harpo.ca. Counseling, life coaching. First 30 minutes are always free. All are invited. No obligation to continue unless you want to. And we're here video counseling around the world. So contact me. Harpo and Seoul. That's the city of Seoul, Seoul. Harpo and Seoul at yahoo.ca.
Right.
And if you want to talk, listen. And everything's confidential. We focus on mystery and grace. And you can get more information at harpo.ca. And thanks for having me.
Always a
tonight.
pleasure.
And special hello to my good buddy Zane Ivey. I miss you.
There we go. Thanks. Two more. Yes, much appreciated. 2 more minutes before Teams kicks us off of here. So, galacticfire.com, Sonia?
Yes, galacticfire.com for your t-shirt and ebook needs. Apparently.
Coffee mugs, what have you. We are working on that audiobook version of Christians.
November's coming up. So.
Camp. Oh, geez, I got to Camp Hero. We might have to end up doing things on a monthly installment sort of basis, the release of, per chapter, what have you. But we got a few. We've done some pretty decent quality work. I sent you the 10, 12 minutes or so of the last segment. It was pretty solid.
Pretty sweet. People
like that. So, and Roger Hansen, who is just, other than the what is it? Was it Dawson City? It's up there in the Yukon. My dad was, his Husky, his dog racing sled team, Roger Hansen, the old friend from back in the day. Not to be confused with, this is the other Roger Hansen out of West Frankfort, Illinois. Anything more, Roger, before they cut us off?
Don't eat that yellow snow. Don't go where the Huskies go.
Oh, hey, we got that Cafe Enigma coming up here this Saturday night. All right. Reincarnation. Wonderful. Wow. Yeah, wonderful world of weirdness. W. So, reincarnation, what else is going to be on tap for Cafe Enigma this week? 30 seconds. All right. Born again, 35 times in the New Testament, but what was that all about, right? So come on, people, wake up. So, all right. Happy sailing, everyone. Thank you once again.
Good night, everybody.
Have a good evening. We'll meet again. Yes. And we'll just cue up the outro here, of course, as always, and see where this takes us.
Love you.
Hopefully, everyone got what they were looking for and then some. Sorry if we managed to
Okay, let me get this sorted out so that we can actually get that ending.
Pick up. So, all right. Happy sailing, everyone. Thank you once again.
Good night, everybody.
Have a good evening.
Good to see you.
We'll meet
Good to
again.
see you.
Yes. And we'll just cue up the outro here, of course, as always, and see where this takes us. Hopefully, everyone got what they were looking for and then some. Sorry if we managed to disappoint anybody, but, free live streaming, community service content. What more can you really ask for? We do our best. Wprpn.com, as always, the website. Pirate One Radio at protonmail.com. If you have any PayPal support that you would, are so inclined and sending our way, half of everything we manage to generate as far as donations are concerned goes directly back to the grassroots. Hashtag WWRHD. What would Robin Hood do? Email address also very handy. If you have any guest suggestions or show ideas you'd like to see us pursue and promote. Hope everyone has a great rest of their week, and if we don't show up this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, treat them well Also, on behalf of Captain Long John, St. Clair, and all the rest of the crew here down in Skullport Harbor, until we meet again, VB's high, often all too intrepid. Digital Seas, I'm your host, as always, show's Chief Communications Officer, Jaffe Ryder, reminding you, keep your ear to the ground and eyes to the sky. Tally-ho!